up? What up? What's up? That's right. It's Hot Mic Friday. What up, everybody out there in the Shark Tank? What up out there in the tank? Big shout out to all my people out there on the back street. Let you know I see you. Let me get my shout outs out the way right quick here. Big shout out to the one and only longtime supporter. Everybody know this guy, Mr. Dickie Foster. What up, fam? Yo, Johnny 5 in the house. What up, fam? Big Doe. What up, fam? Representing the 216, the one and only Mr. 216. What up, fam? Big shout out to my man, Mid School in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to the Viking Royal family in the house tonight. Miss you, fam. What up? Yo, my man, the Mad Doctor's in the house. What up, fam? Let me see. RBG, Lone Wolf representing tonight in the Shark Tank. What up, fam? MKM Bottoms in the house. I see you, fam. Again, big shout out to everybody out there in the Shark Tank. Big shout out to all my people out there on the back street. Y'all don't forget to hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already done so. Now, you know this is Friday night. It done got a little chilly here and everything. And you're dealing with the cold. When you know you got something you got to do, it is rough. I mean, I be feeling for my people up north dealing with the dogs in the wintertime. I mean, this not even up north. Anybody who deal with anything under 20 degrees. I mean, shit, for me, 60 degrees down here is like cold. So when you talk about 40 and 50, look, my days of them days is over. You know, it's like shock therapy when I see the cold now. But I remember them days, man, having to deal with a yard. Now, we ain't never had to deal with them crazy days here in Florida. But up north, oh yeah. There was a time we had 25 dogs on the yard up north. 25. And let me tell you something. In that snow, you know, insulating dog houses. I mean, the dog houses even had shingles on the roofs. You know what pit bulls do? That's when you learn that shit don't work. They tore that shit off. They tore the damn nice constructed dog house with the 2x4 built-in tight frame with the insulation that ran on the inside of them. Tore all that shit up. Yeah, that was just waste of money. Because even when it was cold and we was filling, fill the dog houses up with fresh straw. We had bundles and bundles. Always kept a thing of fresh straw, because then they get out and they get it all wet, and wet straw freezes. So we always had a way to keep cycling. But that was an everyday job, especially up there in Ohio. When it get cold, it be like snotty nose, runny nose, don't go outside, type of get your goggles on trying to deal with some cold. But I be feeling for y'all, the people who have to go through that. When you're dealing with these dogs, I mean, like, some people in different areas have different issues. Like, we had to deal with the cold. In other areas, people had to deal with hurricanes and floods. When you're putting your yard together, you want to make sure you always keep that shit in mind. Because everybody, we know our areas and all that type of shit. But the reason I say that, because sometimes, I've been to some people's yard that, they had the dog houses, everything was all set up, but you could just tell that when it snowed, they were going to have a problem. You know, because sometimes you can be where in ours we always try to keep the dogs under some type of shelter. You know, something that keeps the snow from dropping right directly on the house. Always gonna have something as a cover, and then the dogs is back under that little section because you learn. Snow outside, snow builds up, snow gets on roof of dog house. That's why I thought the shingle part would work. But it does, but in the same token, so does the icicle shit and all that kind of crazy shit start happening. And before you know it, you got to come up with another plan. That's why we always had a cover over what was existing. In some cases, in like them areas that be having to deal with that heat. You know, it's amazing how I see some yards that it would just be straight big open, and how do you deal with them 114 days humidity days like them folks out in Colorado? Well, I say Vegas because even for me, Vegas was hot as hell during the night, and I couldn't believe how cold. I mean, during the day and got cold at night. I guess being down in that, I guess it's a valley it's sit in, but blistering hot days was unbearable. Them Arizona peeps out there, they be dealing with heat, man. But the reason I say that because everybody, we all understand the different things we have to go through. And now imagine if you got a lot of dogs, not just maybe one or two. No, one or two. They, you know, you got garages. You can put them in their pens and bring everything in the house and just don't have to worry about it. Then you got to get, you know, it's easy on you then because you can just let them outside, go take care of their business, and then everybody make it back into the house. Nope, we're not taking no walks up the street and all that other shit. Nope, we're going to deal with this shit. Get your ass back in your cage. Simple. Unless you just like playing in the snow. You know, but that's one or two, maybe three. But you not, you know, you got to go away when you start talking about five, between like 5 and 10. Sometimes you don't have that luxury of being able to, now you got everything in the house or everything in the garage. And let's see, that's only due to emergency purposes when you have to do things like that. But generally, under them kind of circumstances, you have to be prepared to handle it like that. I've known some people who didn't handle it like that. You know, so my thing is all the stuff we got to go through when we was dealing with these dogs, our dogs, through experience, learn. I mean, taking them shots to the head, all the way down to the big row of cages. Everybody in cages, even down to putting a wood thing in between. Concrete floors, covers. I mean, we have done some as much as you can think of when it came to trying to make them the job actually easier to deal with because we had so many, but make it comfortable for the dogs. Florida, totally new, different setup because now we have the acreage. You got 5.5 acres. You got to utilize the acreage. Every dog was under a tree. We had running water out there. Even had a sewage dump. You know, we dug our little thing in the ground and wheelbarrow shit right into the hole. We adapt, and then we had the barn. So we actually we adapted. We took everything that we learned with the smaller yard and turned it into a big yard to be able to control you know, have the same protection, the same place to where you don't have to have the puppy's pen outside. You can put the puppy pen inside in the barn type of situation. So you got 5 puppy pens, just totally secure from all the elements, and then we control the heat. We control the cooling. Cause that's what we do for a living. So you know they're gonna have heat, heating and cooling. So maybe that's we were always able to have comfortable litters, not having to sit around in the house, but actually have them out to where we could control and deal with things. Even when it came time for them to have it, there was a camera right there where all the pins were. So to us, that was a setup. You know, when you come in and you be like, now we finna put this shit to work, then you start setting up because you know which direction you're looking to be headed in. You have to be prepared because now you have all these animals, you have all of this, and these dogs gonna have to put in some work. We got to be able to keep them moving around. Not everybody just always on the chain, and that's the only exercise they had. And I say that because, man, look, I was doing that shit. Our kids was helping, jumping out there, taking dogs to walks. They enjoyed their own little personal dog to where they could run out there and get on the 4-wheeler and hell, what can they tear up? Even though they've had their little going too fast and rolling over, but never with a dog because they knew the dog had to keep up with them. But when you put in that type of work, say we just took it to the extreme, pretty much, because you want to be fair to everything that you're putting forth. That's, I call that, putting in the work. Because now you see, we're working for a purpose. Ain't trying to take no shortcuts, trying to do everything because we're actually working for a purpose. And that is to raise them up. Put in the work. Give them all the attention, all the things that we sit here and we talked about, all the things we talked about from the very beginning. That I can tell you that because at that moment, that was a plan. Sticking to that plan and running it to, I wouldn't say perfection, but running it to the best of your ability, knowing that this ain't nothing new to you. For every time that you do something, as you learning anything, you're going to get better over time. And the more serious you are about it, the better you're going to be. And keeping that thought in mind, in the end, what do you expect? I mean, everybody really works hard for a purpose. See, with these dogs, we really work hard for a purpose because they do have a purpose. And you want that purpose to be a little bit higher than everybody else, which means you're going to have to look and do things a little bit different than what everybody else. But how do you know when it works? Hey, the goal is in the end. How do you know when it works? And I'm going to tell you, the accomplishments. The accomplishments of your work, when you can see that the work that you put in has given you the results. Now, I know I got a lot of dog trainers out there, people who have dogs, and they understand some of the things that I'm talking about, because the dog don't learn how to sit and stay and not sit in the house, you know what I mean, or let you know when they got to go outside. They just don't, that just does not come to them. Now, under every condition, even if it's a person who has the ability to have a dog that they could be training like that, compared to you got a couple dogs and they're out there on the chain, they don't have that need to be, obedient trained. Yeah, you can get. I mean, you can spend just a little bit of time and show a dog a little bit of love and get them to sit when you want them to sit. Especially if you're using treat. These things here, these these things are normal to, I would think, anybody who has a dog, even dealing with these types of dogs. But think about when you out there and you're training for a purpose, like running a wall or a treadmill or a weight pool. That's a different type of setup compared to just because you're actually putting in work. See, I'm trying to just get away from just having a bulldog and say just because you got bulldogs. I'm putting the work on the end of the bulldog. And I don't care what you do with your bulldog. I'm not here to tell people what to do and how to do with their dogs because it's always going to be the same, you know, situation to where regardless of what you're doing, you're going to find yourself doing the same thing that anybody else would be doing if they're working for a purpose. Yeah. There's always going to be some work behind whatever you do when it comes to these dogs. And I want everybody to try to just understand, regardless of what you're doing, once you set the purpose, the quality of your work is always going to be shown in your animal, regardless of what it is. Wall climbing, treadmilling, or just in a confirmation show. Because when you're putting in your work, you'll never appreciate this game until you accomplish at least something that you set out to accomplish. And that's being straight up, not pulling no punches. I always felt like in anything that I've ever done was to try to be something that I could sit back and look at and be like, okay, I could have did this a little better, but you know, I got something to show for it. I mean, not just something that I can be recognized for, hey, yeah, they did that. Yeah, you did that. You know, I try not to work for awards. I don't even work for, you know, how people, you know, in business, they're always pushing for reviews. You know, you go to a customer's house and then you know, you're almost like trying to get them to give you a review because it's supposed to help you in the algorithm. I don't even do that shit. People put reviews because they want to put reviews. People donate to things because they want to do those things. You know, people give tips because, not because it's a habit, because the service you give, they gonna give. I accept all that in appreciation. I think when you're doing something, especially when it comes to these dogs, whether it be a breeding program, whether it be whatever that you're doing, when you're working for a purpose with a working dog, and I keep the working because I'm really going to be talking about working dogs and the responsibility and what actually comes with dealing with working dogs. Remember, we didn't have, once we got the 10 to 15 to 20 to 25, and then you start out with 4, and then in 2 years you're on 80, breaking it down to 40, and really think about when I said 80 breaking down to 40. Those are a whole lot of litters that got raised in that 2-year time period. From the breeding program that we had when we came into Florida, it was 2 years. In here to build that yard up to when that got down to that final 40, it was like, okay. And that, to me, that was some of the best out of the art, the shit that we had bred. And this is what we're going to be rolling with. it took work to even get it to that point. Now you know got that much work done. Now it's time to see the next stage. This next stage is going to put you in a situation that where you're going to look at what you're doing and just try to be the best at what you're doing, knowing that you can never be the best, but it's always, for me, I guess it's always trying to be the best. I ain't gonna bullshit you. And really don't do half the shit that I could do trying to do the best, but I can be, you know, it's almost like with the dog situation. When you've been around it so long, and you know, even the guard dog, shit, you know, you got hard head people that, you know, oh, twin dog ain't shit. Well, yeah, okay. Now you know, fuck around and find out the situation. You know, I just don't think it's necessary to be trying twins dogs. You know, that's that's the word I hear. It don't even pay to be trying them because they're gonna do what they supposed to do and they ain't gonna be nice about doing it. And the thing is, we got control of that. I like that people know our dogs like that. You know, because you know when you get a chance to have one of them dogs, you know, you get a chance to see this is how we do it, and we're gonna make sure that hey, right person got the right dog to do the right thing with that dog, and to keep not just you safe, but that dog safe. Because I tell everybody, you know, to get one of these Von Wick family members, hey, stay, you know, get that dog under control. Call me, get, you know, and more help them out. Get them choke collars because before they leave the house, they already know he, they damn near the house broken. But again, remember he's putting in the work from the time they hit the ground. You know, by 8 weeks, they up moving around and everybody getting ready to be separated. You know, now everybody got to get used to walking on a leash. You ever try to walk a little 8 week, 9 week puppy on a little collar? That's the best time to get the fight syndrome over with. Just start them early. Everything, start early. Sometimes you get the ones that, you know, got that little fire in them. You know, I like the little fiery ones. The ones that just, even when they try to get it right, they biting on the leash and they walking with it. All right, so you think you still got control. See, I like that kind of attitude. But the only way you get a chance to see that type of shit is you got to put in the work to see it. And I think the work part of this is something that we don't. I guess we all talk about it, and everybody got their own certain ways, but everybody deal with their yards a whole lot different. Not everybody's dealing with the amount of dogs that we was dealing with at the time. And while I was thinking about this, you know, Mo spoke on it on the last show, but I just thought I'd bring it up because remember he told you about Amber. Amber was one. I mean, I remember, you know, the reason I remember Amber so well because Amber had lost. It was she didn't to her she didn't lose. She you know they had to pick her up. Well, KP told the dude, look, I'll buy her if you pick her up, and that's how we wound up with Amber. But you know how you see a dog that just has this special something about him. You know, she had that special something about her. Now, by this time, we kind of know, you know, Mo is pretty up on these pedigree situations. You know, so was KP. So they know these bloodlines, you know, pretty well. But let me show you this. Now, y'all know I don't do pedigrees and all that other shit. So I'm going to be telling y'all, what I'm finna say to y'all, It's just basically going to be based on my experience, something that I know, because now I'm fixing to talk about the dog. I seen the dog when she got picked up. I got a chance to see exactly that dog, and then I got a chance to have the dog on my yard. Now, y'all looking at this, and you just think about her pedigree. And I'm trying to associate that pedigree to this dog. And remember, this dog right here is the foundation of our yard. In the very beginning, this foundation right here. Y'all look at that fourth generation, man. Look at that third generation. I mean, Amber was a very, for a female, she was hot as hell. But she was the most lovablest dog, man, that you could ever imagine around the kids, around the family. Beautiful dog, beautiful attitude, but she was hotter than a firecracker. Now, she didn't have that barnstorming talent. But then if you look at these dogs here, you know, they're always champions, but y'all look at the history of them, y'all. They wasn't known to be no damn terrorizers come out the gate. They were just, to me, that was the thing about some of well, back then, Amber wasn't a yellow dog. She was a red boy dog. Red boy Jocko dog. Straight out the block. Her talent, you know, I just think she didn't have not talent. Well, I would say talent, because generally you got one that's going to get there and trying to get somewhere, they're going to get there. And that's one thing that I know about them yellow dogs. If you had, you would have to have a very talented, dog to get by, them red boy dogs. Especially when you had a good one, because they could go all night. And some of them had that skill. Just look at some of the show reports from way back in the day, because, we can only base this off of what we used to see in the journal. Very seldom did you see shit go long times. Shit. Back then, hour 30, you're doing good to get an hour. You're going to have a great night getting an hour 30. So them be the moments that, when I look at Amber and see why they were so, and remember, they didn't know the pedigree looked like this when they did it. That's how impressive she was. It's just after the fact that when you get her pedigree, this is how she's bred. Now, I say that about her because you gotta remember now, that dog was the very foundation that everything that we built moving forward came from. And so, as we went through a lot of the different pedigrees, and you seen how Mo have done it, right? The reason I pick her, because remember, I just said she's the foundation. You're fixing to work with this one dog right here. Now that you see the pedigree, what you're fixing to do with it. Now, one thing that we learned about Amber was a great mother of pups. Great. Handled the job just like no worries at all. A little rough when it came to the breeding process. Yeah, she was hell on wheels, but she was great with puppies. And taking that one dog, y'all, and then starting something, not knowing what it's going to be like, and riding out with it. That to me, one of the things that we can sit back and talk about when you see this is what it looks like in the end. You know what I'm saying? With all the champions and shit, and all the PLRs, and being able to have an ROM, and look where it all started at, right? Because of that purpose. Yeah, you got a little bit of something to sit back and I can look at every individual dog the same way I look at Amber based on where they fell at in our history. Because every single one of them really they were special in their own way, just like Mikey, just like Judo, like Brad. I mean, Mama, Redman. I mean, I could just name so many of them that was like they all had at some point had to be on my yard because I was more like you had the farm, but then you had my 5.5 was this is where we keep the special shit at, you know, closer to where I had control over that spot. So being able, I got kids too, and being able to have that relationship with them and still understand that each one of them dogs really had human, loving attention and care. There's not a dog that I've ever had around us to just sit on a chain. Never. Out of all the dogs we had, there was never a moment when we had dogs that just sat out there on a chain. And to me, you don't have dogs that's out there sitting on a chain when you're dealing with working dogs. When you understand that part right there, then you understand how valuable that chain spot is. You start looking at why that chain spot is so valuable. You just don't let it just sit out there on a chain. That chain spot got to be more valuable than that. When you're dealing with working dogs, it will be. And where do we get working dogs from? Regardless of where your purpose is, you are the one responsible for that work, that goal, that willingness to put in some work to achieve something. Because I think that's important in the success of the dog game. And it's been like that for many, many, many years. You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't just think because the shit hit the fan in the 2000s that hell, the shit was hitting the fan prior to that. You know, so that part of the game, when I sit back and say, hey man, that's 30 plus years ago, but for some of them back there, where we was just new school and they were old schoolers, you know, the story just still was, it was still no different. I just think it's important that people understand that the bulldogs are never going to be the problem. They're not. They're just dogs. Society gonna be the biggest issue that we ever gonna have because of the name pit bull. Oh, it's the pit bull, and people get scared. The dog didn't do that. Society did that. You know what I mean? So when you're trying to turn that part around and trying to give a different outlook on them, you know, for however people try to do that, I mean, again, I am from the old school. And they did have dog shows back then. They even had show magazines, just like we had a journal. They had dog show magazines, but Why all that die off? What happened? Well, if you lived on through that time period, and you was out there in the dog game, you can understand what happened. You know, things do happen like that. Why? Because times do change. There wasn't nothing illegal about that over there. People just, you know, things just changed. Look at all the dogs and the direction that went in when you started looking at the 90s. We done talked about it enough. We know the 90s was off the chain for everybody until the late 90s. Because then it was in full bloom and then all hell was going to break loose. But those was years. I remember I didn't see a pit bull until 1980 something. You know, still, all them years, hands on, seen so much, seen a lot, and always was trying to be not just somebody that said we had dogs, because shit, we've had dogs. I tell you, we've always had dogs. Dogs with a purpose. Throwing pinchers wasn't out there to just look pretty. Throwing pinchers was out there to just look pretty, but be protection dogs and be looking good at being what they were. Be good at what they were. Nice, trained, protection, killers. And imagine the money you make because people see your dogs acting like that. The money people be willing to spend for you to get to teach their dog to act like that. And see, the problem with getting other people to understand what it takes to get a dog like these dogs, it took time. It does take time. So we have to train the dog, but then we also got to train the owner. How many times y'all hear that? Man, you got to make sure you train the owner. Got to be careful. Owner know what they're getting. You got to tell the be straight up and just let the whole story out. Because that part's important, even when it came down to these bulldogs nowadays. Regardless of what you're doing, how you're doing it. Thing is, it's important that you understand that this ain't the same game that we was playing back in the day, where I didn't really worry about. We didn't sell dogs anyway, but then people do sell dogs. You know what I'm saying? But getting caught up with a dog for the wrong purpose and just because my name is on it, I got to get ready to deal with some BS. See, these are the kind of things I'm saying, hey, you know what? The only reason they're getting away with that shit because there ain't enough people out there doing something that's going to change their mind. They always, you know how many drug busts go on throughout the days of every day, but then all of a sudden it's like a dog fighting situation is getting just as much publicity as murder cases and shit. 500 years. Look, man, working pit bulls is something that, as y'all move forward in, that's what's going to change the game. That's what's going to make this happen. And I know what it takes to say, well, put it like this. I know what it means to have a working purpose. I understand the work that is involved when you have a working purpose. You got to be true to that purpose in order to see the results of your work. And your results of your work is always going to be shown in your dog. Always. Regardless of what it is. But just knowing that and keeping that thought and block out all the other bullshit that comes with learning. Because I'm telling you, experience has always been the best teacher. And I say that because, my mom and my dad used to always say, experience, I'm going to tell you, but the only way you're going to understand what I'm trying to tell you, You're gonna be hard headed. You're gonna learn the hard way. And then once you learn the hard way, you kind of understood the whole meaning of the conversation because you could have saved yourself that trouble, but if you had to just paid attention and listen to what they said. No, but you want to test the waters, and all of a sudden you're like, that they said that, they said that. But I guess that's supposed to be a learning process. Uh, how long that learning process is supposed to last? Some of us learn that shit pretty early. You know, be a little bit smarter about what you're doing and how you do it. Be more considerate to everything that you're doing when you're working for a purpose because you're going to find out you can't do that by yourself. A lot of things you can't do by yourself. Yeah, I could start a little record company thing, and start producing and doing the shows, but it's not something I did by myself. I needed the people. I needed to be able to get the people that I knew that knew them people to get them people to get with my people, and we're going to get this thing moving on. But when you're working for something, these things do happen. So, I ain't never tried to be the bad guy. I'm always trying to be the good guy to say, all right, y'all know how we do over here and how we roll over here. But regardless of what you're doing, how you do it, it's still going to be about the American Pit Bull Terrier and the community. So, who's putting in the work? We'll know in the end because it ain't never had to be something we had to talk about. You'll find out if it's worthy of being talked about. But my thing to you and you guys need to understand is this is not a matter of how you do it and what you're doing with your dog. It's a matter of the work of an American Pit Bull Terrier in your hands. Understand that. For us, it was trying to make it worthy of something to talk about. I mean, for us anyway, because remember, our purpose is different. But you still had to put in the work. I don't see nothing no different than none of that shit. Whether it's climbing the wall on that treadmill or pulling the damn weights. Who putting in the best work? Who got the best product? You know what I'm saying? Competition has always made these dogs what they are. I think regardless of what you're doing with them, you're going to get that. But they got to be working, man. Gentlemen, ladies, my people around the world, all my people out there, for the love of the American Pit Bull Terrier, it has always and always will be a working dog. The rest is on the person and the people who control the dog. Me, I always just say, always find yourself, if you're going to work for a purpose, reward yourself with the work that you put in. If it ain't nothing but to make him a good house dog, lovable house dog that still chew somebody up that's coming through the door. It's a house dog. He don't shit in the house. He don't piss in the house. He don't tear up shit in the house. He's a good dog. To have one of them is why they become part of the family. When you have them kind of dogs like that, they part of the family. They don't even have a spot. They don't even have a cage. They have full reign, run of the house, got their own bedroom, place where they go hang out, got their bowl spot over there. That's when they are part of the house. To me, you reward yourself on your work when you have one of them. Because that's part of the family. Y'all know what I'm saying? That dog didn't get like that by itself. And it's because of your results. The purpose of why he's still in the house is something to be proud of. And it's to the point to where that's part of the family. Fucking with that dog like fucking with my kids and my family. You know what I'm saying? See, that's the kind of the work that if you put in forth, regardless of what it is, it's always going to be something worthy of being proud of, because they're not going to get like that without somebody helping. And I don't know. Maybe I'm just trying to put it to, when I hear a lot of people talking but nothing really happening, and that little thing I'm just throwing out there. Hey man, in order to get to do anything and anywhere with these dogs, you got to put in some work, regardless of what it is and how you're doing it. And then your purpose is, what's your purpose? Are you trying to be the best wall climber, the best treadmiller? You know, these things, if you pick whatever one it is, you can't imagine. You should be able to imagine what it is to have one like that. I'm a true believer in trying to have the best regardless of what it is. I mean, I'm talking about not just in my personal life, because again, my personal life is totally different simply because I have other things that I deal with in life, like the dogs, like, a business. You know, that's a balance in itself, right? But the purpose is not going to never change. As far as the working part, if you're working for a purpose, your results will always be seen in the end. And that's the only thing I've had to say about the situation. And the reason I picked Amber, because, gotta remember, fellas, that dog right there was like a damn house dog for me. Amber. Amber was so old, y'all, that I couldn't stand. I couldn't stand to see. I couldn't stand to see nothing. Nobody. Putting her down like shit. But she wasn't in pain. She still would get up, and it was just the whole one side of her body had just swelled up, and I was kind of like, every dog that I've ever had on my yard, they died on my yard. You know what I'm saying? And I've had, like I said, I had one 17 years. One before that, 15. Lily going on 7, 8. See, they're always become a part of the family. You know what I'm saying? But they special to me because they have that work. They have a purpose. As long as that purpose sets my needs, I will have no problem showing them off. I have people bugging out to see my pit bull and my little dog out there, hanging out together, and it looks crazy to a lot of people because they think so bad of a pit bull. And hella, she's one hell of a pit bull. She's still animal aggressive, but her little, her big sister is worse than she is. Except for a little bit, she ain't gonna tear up nothing, man. She ain't breaking no kind of skin. But because of her big sister, she get like that. And that looks funny to people. Because I got, hey, the little dog is more crazy than the big dog. Because I got the big dog. But it looks good to see people look at that pit bull and that bad little Maldoodle and appreciate them. Just being able to coexist like that. Because I know they ain't thinking it's the little dog. It's a pit bull running around with this little dog, and that little dog is hot. You know what I mean? Or when you're dealing with the Von Wicks. Von Wicks, that's chaos and family over there. When people see them dogs, they're not as, those dogs look good. When you got all them dogs and they acting disciplined and looking good, people blowing their horns, people stopping and just sitting back, man, those are beautiful dogs. Man, look, that's us right there. That's what we work for. That's what we work for because that those dogs are a reflection of our work. I'm just telling you. Because what it is, you put in the work, you got to get some type of appreciation out of it. And that we get our appreciation out of it, you know, by watching the way people react. And just think, if we was really trying to be breeders or all that, man, we could have. You ain't never heard us say we was ever that, you know, selling Doberman pinchers and Rottweilers and German shepherds and shit, or even pit bulls. We just really never was into that shit. You were lucky to get anything that was bred off of going hard yard. Lucky. And most of the time when you got it, we was hoping that you got something good. Something that, you know, worked out for you. So, I'm just putting it out there. You want to make a change? Start putting the work and create a format where you can show your work. I think those things like that is what's going to change the whole outlook on everything anyway. You know what I'm saying? But first things first, start on your own shit. Put in the work. You'll be breaking your neck trying to find something to show your shit off. I mean, if you're about that life, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? About that life is about that competition. That's about putting that work out there and getting in some of these shows. I mean, I always felt we was good enough to travel. I told you, ain't never been no secret in our conversations around here. We that damn confident in our work. We ain't afraid to travel. We'll come see you. You know what I mean? Whole new different world. Whole new different world. But you put in the work, it shouldn't matter. I'm turning this over to my man Mo. Like I said about my girl Amber, you know, to me, I think Amber, based on, for me, you know, Mo might think a little different. You know, and I had my Mikeys and I had all of them, but Amber for me was like the cream of, you know what you know, and you right there, and then you got a damn female. You got a female, and this is how you gonna start. I'm gonna build up off this right here, and to see the things that it did and where we went. To me, that's like our honey bunch. I remember we had Baby and all of them come after this one, but see, none of that been possible without that crazy ass pit bull that we bought out of a damn pit. You know what I mean? That created a whole new generation of some shit, which we always call our shit going hard, but that we could really call going hard because everything after out of her was, you know, our KP and Mo's way of thinking. They had a plan and the plan worked. That's what I'm gonna tell you. But I'm just saying, man, look at my fourth and third generation. Shit, knowing what y'all know now. I'm just saying, just knowing what you know now. History already will tell you what it means, what it did. You know, a lot of them dogs. Ain't no walking shit. Look. I'm gonna let Mo get on that shit, dog. Hold on, you come finish it up, because, you know, I'm just telling y'all. That one right there, this one right here was special. For everybody who knew in the game. Now, I mean, this dog, we didn't get this dog when we was new in the game. we got this dog at the right point in time in the game. So I put it like that because at this point in time, a dog like that, we already knew what we knew what to do. I put it like that. With no learning going on in this time period. It was about building something. So for all my newbies out there, don't. This is not a thug or chart because again, before we even knew how the dog was bred, we liked the dog. So you can't say, "Oh, we knew how the dog was bred and we went on." No, we did that without knowing by just looking at the dog, watching the dog. God damn, she's getting an ass on him. She don't even know it. She don't even know it, man. How long is this gonna go on? Oh, she keep going. What shit? You know what I mean? That type of shit. And you see it, and then you look at why. You gonna understand why we always tell y'all. You know what I mean? You put in the work, just do what you see the next person that's already successful doing. You know, just put your swing on it because you can't do exactly like them. Because if that was the case, you know, you would be taking his dog doing the same thing he didn't know. You get and you copycat, but you making your own choice of what that dog gonna look like. Where you starting at? This is where we started at. That's why I wanted to talk about putting in that work because this here was a whole new different thing for us. This was the beginning of a whole new era. Coming off all that great bread, Jeep, Eli, you know, Bosco, Rascal, Molly B, Snooty. Now this here was there was the change of everything moving forward. I mean, and all on one line. You know, in case y'all be missing that. This is why I hold this one right here special. Because it took that one dog right there and with the work, it created something that we could be proud of. That's why I'm kind of like, you know, this is where it all started for me, and that's why I give her hold her in such regards because of the work that was put in her. The puppies, I mean, she was a great mother. But look, she died on the yard. That's how valuable she was. Yeah, she died on the yard. So take what I'm saying, and I just don't want them to be like, well, Mo just be sitting here talking. It's just like it's a story because there's really a lot more behind the story. I ain't trying to tell the story, but what I'm actually trying to do is understand the story because sometimes y'all be forgetting that we not young, we old. I mean, I think shit, we be 64 this year. When we talk about these dogs, and we sharing an experience with you, we just trying to tell you like, you know what? To be straight up honest with y'all, you know, it was some work involved in that shit. It was planned, you know, it's planned. You know, you have to put in the work. We never had dogs that sat on the chain. That's the most important thing that I felt. I got out of the whole damn thing because we didn't never have dogs that just sat on the chain. Always had some type of work schedule that they knew when it was their turn type of shit. And I just think it's important that even the older guys probably know it, and we ain't trying to do 20, 30 dogs, but for the ones who trying to do 10, 15 dogs, don't let them be dogs that just sit on the chain. I tell you can be more productive and see the value of that chain spot if you're putting in that work. Because anytime you're putting that work in, that means you putting some work towards something. And that's where I'm at. Put that work so to be valuable chain space. Something you can be proud of in the end. Don't be mad because we felt like that about our work. We're nothing compared to the people that we talk about. How many times we done heard us say that? But one damn thing I know we can sit back and do, we can sit back and talk about our shit too. because we put work in, and the work will show you. Speak for his damn self. I just like to know, that hey, if I had anything to give back, that would be the thing I'm trying to give back. This is what it looked like, and this is how we got there. They ain't got to make up none of that shit. Ain't got to sit there and lie about them bullshit like that. Ain't got to go think I'm better than nobody else. This ain't never been about that. This has always been about telling y'all a story about two twin guys who were hanging out there in the dog game and met all these people and went on this wild, crazy ass trip. You know what I mean? Take the good and the bad along the way. Can tell you, man, exactly how we did it, why we did it, what we learned from doing it, and always pass it forward. The same way it was given to you, pass it forward. And that's why we want y'all to get something out of this. I ain't got no book to sell y'all. First of all, first and foremost, I sure as hell ain't out here selling memberships on YouTube. It's not trying to do that either. Actually, I keep telling y'all, we getting to this point of, because I think long as I keep doing this, Mo ain't gonna do the right thing. He ain't gonna go to the hospital because he always too busy wanting to get back here, and he still be getting back here late. But that's not the point. The point is, what we're trying to do is try to give y'all the insights straight from the horse's mouth. That's it. The good, the bad, the scientific way of thinking about it, the inspiration and the understanding. Not all dog men are bad people. The average real dog man gonna love his dog. Y'all know that. For those who don't really understand that, know that, then you really don't, you ain't been in the dog game long enough. And for the ones who have, help me pass the story. Push that message forward because y'all know it's true. Y'all know what it looked like. Y'all know what the real is. That's all we try to do. Give you the inspiration. Not to sit back and be like, oh, you ain't do shit. Well, we probably didn't do shit. But the one damn thing for sure, I never seen you over there. If I had seen you over there, you been just like everybody else who stood over there. And say that and be meaning that. Got the record to show that. I don't want to hear nothing else. I made it a point, and I wasn't afraid to travel either. So that ain't bragging. That's just keeping it, damn it, real. That's who I am. I mean, that's our personality. No, that's just who the hell we are. I mean, we'll say nothing wrong with that. Ain't no hurt nobody's feelings. You know what I'm saying? So keeping it, we don't have nothing to sell. Why bullshit you? Just go ahead and let me waste your time by trying to give you some real shit. Be able to go out and see if you got that one out there that you can sit there and look at like we looked at whatnot. Because at that point, you look at the damn pedigree. You have no idea what the future gonna give you. I can tell you now what it did for us. That's what I can tell you. Mo done showed you enough. My thing is, what you getting out of it? The first thing we got to get out of it and quit bullshitting is stop bullshitting and then just get back to the working dog. The working American Pit Bull Terrier. You know what I said about that. If you're working, goddammit, you're working to have something to be proud of. Something that's going to, extenuate your work, your knowledge, your ability, your animals. Those are the things that make names. Those are the things that make things happen. Those things make you and your dog reputable. I mean, I'm just saying, man. You got bully people selling dogs for 100,000 and shit. But look, we over here buying, they over here buying dogs for 100,000. Like that ain't shit. You know what I mean? That ain't shit. You know what I mean? Look, that's the reality of this conversation. But there's a difference. You feel me? There's a difference. You just got to choose which one works for you. That's all I'm saying. But don't act like there ain't a difference, because there's a difference. All right, Mo, it's on you, bro.
Where we at, man?
Oh, man, I was on the working dog,
You can put a drug up there right quick. You know, check and say, hey, everybody, this shit, before I get up.
Yeah. Hold on. I thought it was. I gotta go back in and see. All right, fella, let me see if I got it. Big shout out to my man Vendetta. I see you, fam. Eli Monster. What up, fam? Oh, man. What up, man? G-Ville. I see you, fam. Sunrise J. What up, fam? Chico Nicholas representing the D. What up, fam? Yo, my man Shreveport Mike in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to my main man, Mr. William McNeil. I see you, fam. Skip Bill. What up, fam? Union County in the house. What up, fam? My man, Marcel Shepard in the house. What up, fam? Big shout out to you too, Marcel. Yeah, you the type of guy I be talking about. I love your work, bruh. Love your work. Keep doing what you doing. Itchy, what up, man? The insane honey badger in the house. What up, fam? Yo, my man, the one and only Johnny Rocket in the house. What up, fam? Yeah, man, appreciate y'all for showing up, showing out. Don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit that like button.
What up, y'all? Hey. Put my button up. I like how my shit all right. What's up, everybody? Thanks for coming out here on this Friday, Hot Mic Friday. What's up, everybody? What's up, y'all? I went to the show already. Yeah, that's good. I made it. Another week. I missed the hospital again, guys. It's been a busy week. I ain't got time to get locked up in there. Don't want to be running down the hall with blood coming all down my arm, trying to snatch the IV out and escape the hospital and shit. I just don't go. You know how it is. You know what I'm saying? You got to work through that shit. Whatever it is, I'm still alive. I'm still here. So whatever it is, they might be just wanting to probe me. They want to do a catheter. They want to put a catheter in my shit. Don't know what that catheter mean. Don't know what they're trying to do. It don't sound like it's anything you can like just stick in your arm right here. They want to go up in there around the heart with it. So I'm trying to figure out how they're going to get there. You start thinking, how you going to get there? Okay, so evidently this ain't going to be like no go in and can come right back out, is it? George Foreman died today? R.I.P. to George Foreman. Damn. Old man George. Old man George died today. Shout out to old man George. Hmm?
76 years
76. Hey, that's
old.
not
I know
bad.
somebody in the chat had put that out there. I didn't, I had to go verify it before I said anything. But R.I.P. the old man George Foreman, heavyweight champion, one of the baddest, hardest hit men in the game.
Yes, sir. Yeah, big shout out to George Foreman.
Yo, Fresh, I see you, fam. Cable, I see you, fam. Hope I ain't missed nobody. If I missed you, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Mike handled the show pretty good tonight. Yeah, you already know. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I heard you talking about them Vine Wicks.
Yeah, man, them Von Wicks. I'm telling you, man, ain't nothing like them Von Wicks. Just another thing like I was talking about, like any other going hard dog.
Oh, yeah.
They just look good and they will eat your ass up.
Eat your ass up. Nice looking dogs, but they will get you. They will get you. They'll get you. Yeah, I just gotta put Amber back up here, man. That's we didn't always have some. This one. We didn't always have some nice bred dogs. Y'all know that. But that one right there, I gotta go back to that. Yep, that's the first one that we got that has some yellow in it. So, and I look at all the other guys out there that had they red. I called them red boy dogs at the time. Even though Yellow was sitting in there, he's in there with a bunch of other half brothers and sisters. So, yeah, that one right there, that one was a game changer. First dog we bred her to was Termite. And then we bred her to Rocker Stone Wall. And then we bred her. Remember we bred her, remember Andy and them bred her, had Grandma. Had a dog named Grandma. Didn't even have a pedigree on the bottom, on the top. Yep. Had a bad old female. She grew old up there in New York. And then Amber had a little mate brother. His name was Levi. Yeah, he was up there in the Ohio area, Cleveland area. I think Dodge City had him. He was a game old bulldog. They got some pretty nice dogs out of him. But this is about as close as you can get when it comes to getting some nice yellow dogs that ain't straight off of yellow. You know what I mean? Just the shavest dogs. You see yellow in there. You see David Tance, Grand Champion yellow in there, and everything else you see Fletcher Shavis and Red Boy. You see Jocko. Yeah, I like that. Every time I see her sitting up there, I think about how she changed everything that I was doing. Best thing my boy could have did for me. When he set me on that run to go grab her and them puppies. They changed everything on the yard when I got them. He was already into doing something. Then we went to Angels Apache with the same old dog. That's how we met Mayday. The dog just opened up all kind of doors. You know what I'm saying? All kind of doors. So shout out to my girl Amber. Other than that, fellas, Mike was talking about, passing shit on, and just in the way he was bringing it in, and to me it be sounding like on the business side, but when you really have to get down there and do the work, and really dealing with managing the yard, it really do take some work, fellas. It really do. I mean, it do. You gotta love it to do it. Because again, I always say, y'all, if I have a problem with anything, it's dog shit. I mean, I just don't like dog shit around my dogs. I'm dead ass serious. I got an OCD to that. You know, to this day, I'm still that way, even with my Malinois. I get up every morning, I take my Malinois out, and I take them out, and I cut them loose, and I have little flags planted right where I take my dogs. And when they go use the bathroom, I take my little flags and mark all their little spots, and then I come back on my damn little electric bike and my little shovel and shit, and I pick that shit up, even when I'm not at the house. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, nobody have to even worry about stepping in Twin shit, because Twin gonna be picking all his shit up. He don't leave none of his shit out. I swear, I don't give a where it's at. I'm picking up dog shit. And it's just by habit. You know, because I want my dogs coming back out there, accidentally stepping in some shit, bringing it back into my motherfucking house. You know what I'm saying? So I cleans up. And to be able to do that, it takes discipline. To be able to get up in the morning as early as I do to take care of dogs, it's always taking discipline. And when you got discipline to do something and doing it right, you start really, you gotta love what you're doing. Stay that damn discipline. No way you can not be in love with what you're doing and maintain a disciplinary way of doing your shit. It just takes discipline. Discipline brings motivation. As long as you got motivation, you're gonna have discipline to get it done. You know, and why do I have all the discipline to do what I'm doing? Because I'm on to something. You know, what am I on? I'm on a path. Got to be a plan to doing something if I'm doing all that, like it is with the Van Wicks. They ain't pit bulls, they're Malinois. Same concept for me though. They all had a job. What's that job? Get in there and get one. Get them, boy. You know, that's bottom line. You know, gotta have competition and work to keep them going and keep them doing what they want to do. You know, if that's what they want to do, you got to help them. When you're helping them, you learn. They learn. You know what I'm saying? I'm hard on dogs. When I say I'm hard on dogs, I'm hard on them because I don't give dogs treats. You know, I give them a toy, but I only give them a toy to let them, you know, blow off the steam that I know they would need to blow off. And to me, in both breeds, they need to blow off steam. That's why we put them on spring poles, and, you know, we put the mallees on their arm sleeves and things that, you know, related to the bodysuit that they'll be learning how to grab and snatch on as they get older. And, you know, that's their treat, to be able to go in there and explode and shake and work. They love that. You know what I'm saying? Just like y'all do with your spring poles and your flirt poles and stuff like that, to keep their drive up. You got to give them that exercise. You got to give them that room to work. And while you're doing it, you might as well train them while you're doing it. You know, I seen a badass little video today with a little Malinois, like 9 weeks old. He was chasing this dude. Dude was running. And he had a good head start on him. This 9-week-old puppy was running behind him. He had enough room to be able to turn around, face the puppy, get down on the ground, and stick that sleeve out there in front of him. And that puppy ran right over that sleeve. Didn't hit the sleeve, hit him right here in the arm. The sleeve was down here. But he ran up in there, and when he ran up in there, he hit him right there where you know, where they supposed to bite. You know, he bit him right there into that muscle. But the sleeve was down here. They had to peel him off, let him go back on the sleeve. But it was just the fact the way that little puppy went in there and put his whole mouth in there. I mean, he put his whole mouth up in there. You see me when he moved it. You know what I'm saying? So you know they have put work in that puppy to be able to do that. Put it on video. You know what I'm saying? And it looked good, because that's exactly what it looked like to me. And, you know, I do that. You know, you can just tell that they just put a lot of work in that 9-week-old puppy for that puppy to do that. I mean, to teach him how to put his whole mouth on there like he did. I mean, went straight in there punching like he did. And to get in there, not just go hold on to nothing. He went in there and he grabbed that shit and started working it right off the back. I ain't talking about with the front. He had his whole mouth up in there. That impressed me, you know, because you see work. I know because I mess with dogs. I know what kind of work it took for them to get that puppy to be that good. I have a video out there with Chaos at 13 weeks old doing hand signals, you know, without having to say a word. I also got a video out there of Chaos hitting shit when he was, you know, 11 weeks old and didn't, you know, had him doing the same thing, you know, hitting, you know, I didn't use the sleeve then, I used the towel. And gotten used to that, you know, I wanted him to get used to just putting his mouth around that arm. But just to see how he looked when you got him holding between your legs, he looked like a pit bull dude when you got him in that corner facing him with something. You know what I'm saying? He looked just like that, trying to bite, trying to get loose. Yeah, he was wilding out. Wilding out. You know, he had it naturally. It just, when you're working with it, you're enhancing his natural attitude. You're taking his natural attitude and you're enhancing it by teaching him. And teaching him how to love what he already naturally liked to do. You know, as they get older, you gotta fill that in. You know, I see young dogs jumping on the treadmill. Don't need nobody, don't need nobody's help, don't need to get hooked up. Just run over there and jump on the treadmill. So you know when you see that, and that puppy can jump up there and do like that on his own, that means one, he want to do it. Two, he like doing it. See, when you want to do it and you like doing it, that's because somebody's teaching you. You already wanted to. He just had to teach you. You know what I'm saying? And once he taught you, then you like doing it. Then, you know, with work, and it's a routine, and only with a routine are you going to see that dog jump up there on his own. That means he's been jumping up there, you know, like my dogs. I can let them out, and they know exactly where to go. You know, the young ones know that they're going to the cage. You know, that's the first thing I do is open up that cage because I know when they get loose, I want them to run to that cage. You want to run to the cage. If I do a treadmill every day with a dog, he's going to be able to get to a point that he wants to do it. Every time he see it, he's ha, 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 ha. I cut his ass loose too. Boop. And you know, there's the treadmill. I'm going to jump up there and start running. Because that's what I'm going to do anyway. Oh, there it is. Hey, yeah, I'm out. I'm loose. And they get a chance to go up there and just blow it out. But it takes work to do that. You know, they just don't do it on their own. So when they start doing it on their own, then what's the purpose of you? What can you do if he's doing it on his own? Well, you can do even more. You know what I'm saying? There's even more. It's real nice to be able to get a dog to jump up there and run on a treadmill and never been on one before. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you he has some drive type of work. There was something that you did with that dog to get that dog to be that intense and that prepared. You know what I'm saying? Was it the hide? You know, in Malinois terms, was it the sleeve? It's got to be something that they want to get, that you can put them on that meal and put it in front of them and they get to go at it. You know what I mean? Now I can cut them loose and they jump up there. Guess what they're looking for? Whatever that thing I was using, they're looking for. They know what's coming. That's why they're running so hard. Because they know what's coming. Oh, there it is! There it is! Ah! And you do that enough, that's training your dog. You know? Another thing. I want to go over. Chico, this one's for you, bro. When y'all out here, because the game has got a lot of dog breeders out here, a lot of guys selling puppies, a lot of guys that's, you know, advertising their dogs all over the country. And then a lot of them have pedigrees that's damn near like something everybody like. You know, in this community, you know, I ain't gonna sit there and say, you know, we was more loyal to the game and we didn't have those, you know, them shysters back then. I'm just saying there's a way you handle business when going to buy a dog. I mean, if you're not going to go pick that dog up, then I wouldn't be sending no money, not no money, you know what, I feel like he can take that right there and regardless of what's left, you know, he could take that and run with it and I still don't get nothing. I ain't trying to lose $1. You know what I'm saying? So when you're buying dogs, you're not going to pick it up. You know, me preferably, we got cell phones now. We can put things on video. You know, if I'm going to see something in a litter, if you're going to give me a pic like I was standing on your yard, you'll be out there with your video, showing me what you got. I'll take that one. You know what I'm saying? Going for $1,000. Okay, well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. You book the trip. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is, they can book the trip and fly, and once the trip is booked, I mean, some people use transporters. Me, I like putting mine straight on the plane. You know, I'll buy the crate. You know what I'm saying? And that's all he needs. I'll pay for the crate. And when I see that ticket, you know, that confirmed flight, that the dog is on that flight, he's got the health certificate and all that prepared to go. You know what I'm saying? I can guarantee you, when I see all that right there, I'll be able to say, I'm going to get my puppy. Mm-hmm. You got the papers, you know. If you got papers and you want the papers, you got papers. Then I would literally send all my money once I know that the dog is on flight. Here's half of what's on the dog, and I will give you the rest once I see the dog on the flight. Or I'll give you half. You know what I mean? Once the dog is on flight, you know what I mean? Then turn around and give you the other half once you send me my papers. Unless you're going to put it taped to the damn kennel and show me that it's taped to the kennel. So when with the paperwork that has to go with the dog, because there is paperwork that has to go with the dog. You know what I'm saying? It's paperwork that has to get to with the dog. Or you send a transporter, send him your money, a little bit of money, but when you go to get that dog, the transporter gets that dog, then he get the rest of the money. And he wouldn't get that until the transporter got that dog and the paperwork with what was part of the deal. You know what I'm saying? Before he got any more money out of it.
Or just go and get the money and get your dog.
Or just go and just go up there and don't give him nothing at all. And just go right to the yard and go pick your puppy up. But, you know, in some of these places, guys, you're not being able to do that. But think about it. The way some of these flights is cheaper. You know, some way some of these things it is. You get a health certificate. I mean, if you just buying a puppy, then you just get the little small crate. Because what they do is they take and drop the dog off to the airport, and you pay for the dog when you go pick it up. That's how it used to be for me. I paid for the dog, you know, when I went and picked the dog up. All they had to do was take the dog and put him up there on plain. Just take them there, they put it on the scale, they do their weight, and then the dog becomes part of a package that they send, to me. Same with the transporter. Transporter, they came and picked them up, when they came and got the dogs and the papers, I got paid when the transporter got the dogs. I wasn't worried about it because I wasn't going to let the dogs go anywhere until I got paid. Once I got paid, then here you go. Make sure you get them. But that right there is something that a lot of you guys, even when it comes down to breeding, a lot of you guys can't get there. A lot of you guys, the sperm thing is gonna be a trip in itself too. Because once they get the sperm bank thing going, that would be something that I think that's a pretty nice business that I'm considering. Is getting me some nitro, some tanks, and learn how to take semen and store it. Just start me a registry. I'm giving y'all the idea for those who probably got a bunch of money and want to do it. But get it because there's not a lot of storage places around here that's not, this pit bull friendly that will store the dog sperm. Just turn my shit into a sperm bank. Everybody want to get their dogs drawn. They want to have a place to store their sperm. You know what I'm saying? Give me a couple of them damn things. Even be able to get them and check them and test them and go ahead and park them. Probably charge y'all about $100 a year. Y'all gotta admit that ain't bad. How many straws though, twin? I'll probably give y'all about 10 straws. Anything over 10 straws, you just add $20. It ain't trying to take a bunch of money because all you're doing is storing it. You're paying for the electric that's probably going to take in a year's time. Because you got enough people doing it, it makes it cheaper for everybody. I'm not trying to make $1 million off of it, but I guarantee you I have a badass sperm bank. I bet you that. Enough to probably have a building with a whole bunch of sperm in it. Because a lot of guys they want to draw semen off their dogs. But you got a lot of vets, and you know how vets are. Some of them are funny. For those dwellers, this would probably work good for you guys because those dwellers, they can't take their dogs certain places because, they don't be in the best condition pertaining to staying out of trouble. You could have a kennel accident and you got your dog chewed up, and just because you nigga had a kennel accident, your dog has to be labeled. And we all know kennel accidents happen. You know what I'm saying? But just that move right there, trying to go to the vet, you know it was a kennel accident. He tried to call the people on it. The dog came in here with scars all over. Well, did you ever consider it was a kennel accident? We got scars from a kennel accident. But they don't look at it like that. Start sending your shit to somebody who's just into nothing but storing semen.
Want to give a big shout out to my man Trial and Air coming in with a 10-piece showing of love. I see you, fam. Appreciate that. He said, great show, brother.
Okay, thank you.
Big shout out to my man Red Bobby. What up, nephew?
Yeah, man. But I mean, outside of that right there, I was thinking, even going through that for guys now, that's going to be the new thing. Semen chasing is going to be a new thing. A good sperm bank. You know what I'm saying? Guys getting their dog's profile. I mean, literally profile. Go buy a dog and and this is what you do. Say you buy a dog, right? Because remember, just because they say their dog is DNA profile. You know what that means? That means that dog is DNA profile. Now, you want to know if your dog is coming off a particular dog, then you need that dog's daddy's DNA. You know what I'm saying? Because, go ahead.
I want to give a big shout out to my man Pro and Game in the house. I see you, fam. Big shout out to my man Mr. Burning Star. What up, fam? Mr. O. What up, fam? Yo, wordless. I see you, fam.
Yeah, you got to get the damn. See, you made me lose my space, man. Yeah, what part though? It was something important too. It was. Yeah, yeah. That's gonna be the new thing. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of us, when you go to profiling, when they say they dog is like Mayday, let's just use Mayday and Bratton. Let's just do it that way. If it don't be for the DNA people to say that Brat and Maytu had the same father, that's the only way we would know that the dogs was off of Mayday. So when we say that Maytu's DNA profile, that's just Maytu's. You know what I'm saying? That's just Maytu. That's the thing. We wouldn't know who the daddy is. They just saying that they got his DNA profile. Now, if you want to know, if your dog is literally off like Mayday and Brat, we know that Mayday was bred to Brat. Brat is off of Mayday. Well, when they got his profile, his DNA profile, you know what I'm saying? They was able to check his genealogy and to say, look, the father was in both genetics. That means the father and the son, the father was the father to the mother, and the father was the father to the puppy. That's what DNA profile did for Maytu. It was able to say that they had the same father. So when you go DNA Maytu's pedigree, you know what I'm saying, and do a profile on it, I'm pretty sure that little extra test that they had done to show that they had the same father was part of that DNA profile. They were able to tell through his profile. Now, say when you go out here and buy a dog, and you get this dog, and this dog grows up, you know what I'm saying? Then you get this dog DNA profile. But how about before you buy the dog, if you could get the father's DNA profile? Now, I would do that with particular important breedings. Hey man, can I get a DNA profile on your dog? Can I get a copy of it? Because I want to be able to match it to my dog. So when I get my dog DNA profile, they'll be able to tell me, hey, I DNA profiled this dog, and it's the same. The DNA profile came back to the DNA profile you gave me that this dog was his father. Because all they're doing is telling you something that's going to be notated in your dog's DNA profile. If it's not done, then all they're giving you is a DNA profile of that dog. It doesn't tell you who the daddy is unless you have a profile of who the daddy is. You can always figure out the mama, but it's usually it's the male that we're looking for, because we know the female who had the puppies.
They ain't using technology, is it?
No, y'all ain't dug into that technology, but it's there. And that's what I'm on. Because it's a lot of guys out here selling dogs, telling y'all they got DNA profile on their dog, but what did that mean? Don't mean nothing. tell him you got DNA profile of the daddy's who he is, if he's off of this dog right here, he's going to have a profile. He's going to ask for one. You know? And a lot of people that's doing it over there at the ADBA, getting them dogs' profile, you know? How about trying it when you go to buy the dog, especially if they ADBA? I want to buy this puppy, but I want a DNA profile on the daddy.
That's if you're just trying to do the right thing.
Right. And all that's doing is saying, all it's doing is saying that the father, here's his profile on this puppy. Verifying that the father of this puppy's got a DNA profile on file. DNA profile should be able to tell you if you got the DNA profile on that dog. When you get one, that you can test it to your information that you got on the father. Because all you need to know is, you know, the truth for yourself. Because everybody don't tell the truth. And that's why we have so many controversies of who's the daddy or who or what, you know. But that's going to be the new thing now, because it's more of a business now than it's ever been. And you guys got to start learning how to work that hand, because a lot of us got dogs out here that's not bred the way they said to be bred. We know that ain't nothing new. But in this world of doing what we're doing today, you got technology to help y'all kind of eliminate a lot of that if you start asking for the right things. Do your homework. Go ahead, Mike.
Yo, big shout out to my man Vendetta. Come through with a 10-piece showing love. He said, pop your shit, twin. Muscle 100. Appreciate
Thank
the love,
bro.
fam.
Right. Just trying to get y'all heads up on some shit. You know what I mean? It's like me doing research on, you know, the things that I would need to be able to store people's straws, you know what I mean? And literally go in there and do what Tom does, you know what I mean? Not just for his dog. I want to do it for guys that they want to get their dogs in a sperm bank. I want to be able to have me a little sperm bank, little business to be going on. You know, to hold them things. I know I be long gone and dead, you know what I'm saying? But I guarantee the business will continue running. You know, no telling how big that business will get. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody is trying to sell dogs these days. And I would love to be on the frontier of something that we know that we really do need, especially my dwellers. My dwellers. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these guys need their dogs semen in their breedings. You know what I mean? You gotta get it done for the right money. You know, it's like coming to breed a dog. Yeah, I gotta fly down there. I gotta take my dog down there twin. He's gonna pull some straws from me this weekend. I ain't gonna be doing like the vets charging you $200 and $400 to do it. You know, just bring on down. It's almost like a damn step fee. You know, you're gonna be paying hundreds of dollars. You know, it's gonna just take the time it's gonna take. You already know, you bring me $150, $200, you know, I'll take the time. We pull the shit, put it under the microscope, do all the little things Tom said do, put it in that little straws and all that, and just stick it in the damn nitro tank. You know, it shouldn't cost us a lot of money to do that. And if it's not going to cost me a lot of money to do that, and I can get enough people on board to do that where it's making it worth me doing it, and to be able to hold the records and have the chronically, you know, set up where people know what they're doing, you know, if you forget, I will have your information on point. If you forget what you got and what you got left or what you used. You need to be able to be having chronically, be my responsibility to make sure that I can be able to tell you if you don't know. You know what I'm saying?
We set up like that though already.
Yeah. We have things that we can do that in our own business, the way we do things, But that's what we need to really start looking into. The guys that's got these males need to really look into that and do your research on the profiling of these dogs that you're out here buying. Hey, if you like the damn dog, the daddy of the dog, look it up. Let's see. How can we get a DNA profile of a dog? What does it take to get a DNA profile of a dog, the sire of a puppy you getting ready to get, to put with your puppy to prove that your puppy that you're buying is off that dog? Don't you think we need to start adding that? You know what I mean? Makes good sense though, right? If it don't take but a little jack off to put in a tube, let's do some research. If we jack this dog off, we don't need a straw. All we need is a sample to get a DNA profile off the sire. I'll pay for it myself.
My man Vernon Starr said our collection person, that's all she does. She goes from a county and goes to dog shows collecting samples.
See? Hey, Vernon Starr, you get out with me, man. Yeah, I like it. I need some information on that. Yeah, that's good information, though.
Everybody need to have that.
Because everybody need that information. Have your dog profile. You know what I'm saying? So when they say my dog is DNA profile, okay, so that means I should be able to get the profile of that dog. So when I get ready to get my dog profile, I want to be able to sit there and they come back and say, well, hey, look, your dog is off the dog that you gave me the profile to. So that'll always be there with my dog. Well, I got the DNA profile. Now, I ain't just got it on my dog. I got the DNA profile saying daddy of the dog is who I said he is. I got the DNA profile on the sire.
Big shout out to my man, Rabbit Man in the house. Yo, my man. Walnut, PA, I see you, fam.
What's up, PA? Mm-hmm. I like that collector move, and she making some money doing it too now, because, like what is she collecting it for?
G-Ville say, we start y'all with a nice 5-pack. No cap, twin.
You got a 5-pack of Maychew still, man? Yeah, that's not a bad pack. I know that's an expensive pack, though. You know what I'm saying? I get questions there all the time. How much you think they selling Maychew sperm for? Well, put it like this, it's expensive. That's all I say. It's expensive because why would it be? You know what I'm saying? Shit, they don't care about selling it, not when they can sit there and take their time and get the perfect dog that they want to use it on. We got sperm off a Red Bull. He died, but we still got like at least 3 breedings. KP said he still got 3 breedings. He wasn't expecting no dude to get over there and lose the dog so quick. But thank God he got 3 straws, 3 breedings left of him in a sperm bank. They gonna sit there till he find a perfect thing to breed it to. If somebody don't go in there and buy them. And that's another thing guys got to learn. If we find ourselves getting into that era of what we need when we buying the sperm, You want to make sure that when it leaves the place, the storing, that it's good sperm. You know? So you got to make sure when you go and put your shit up in the sperm bank that you putting a nice, healthy dose of that shit up in there. You know what I'm saying? So you can check it before you use it or send it out. You know what I'm saying? I mean, things to look into. If I'm gonna run a sperm bank, I'm covering all bases. I want to make sure, man, call me. Okay, he's gonna be sending me how much? Okay.
What's the count? Yeah.
So I'll be able to check it for them. They pay me to check it. Before I send it, I'm gonna check it and put the paperwork to the person who paid for it. You know, 9 times out of 10, I would hope it'd be the seller. I don't want the buyer doing it. I want the seller to do it because it's his deal. You paid me to check it before you send it. You know what I'm saying? You better put that in the price of your selling your dog. Or, you know what I'm saying? But that's what you have to clean the game up and tighten up these loose ends and the little things that I'm speaking on so you don't get ripped off. Just imagine, man, you run across a beeline, or you know what I mean, you already was dealing with it in the Chico mode, but you got a whole bunch of Chicos out there now. A whole bunch of everybody out there got these great bred dogs and shit. There's some people out there probably got one dog, swear to God, when you're on the internet, you got 12, 20 of them. You know what I'm saying? And he's selling puppies. You know what I mean? Like 4 different bitches. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got but 2 dogs. You know, what's his line? You know, yeah, you send me your money, I'll send you one. You like to breed so goddamn much? You know? And how's he bred? You got papers? No, man, you know, I don't do papers. Yeah, he is where he is. I ain't got no reason to lie about it. You know what I'm saying? Get you a damn buckskin dog, but the mommy and the daddy black. Now you got to explain it. You know what I mean? But it's too late. You know, we hear about the Maurice Carbs and the Pat Patricks and stuff. We hear about that, what they did. You think that, you know, it's even worse today? It's worse. It's a gamble every time that you send your money off to somebody trying to buy a dog. If you ain't gonna take the time to go get that dog, then you're taking a chance of losing your money. Sending money for a dog. If you ain't willing to take your dog somewhere to breed your dog, and you want to send your dog, or you want somebody to send you some straws, you know, it'd be like that Novacek dude that kept popping up with all the greatest dogs in the history of the dog game. You know, he got a yard better than anybody in the world. But when it really showed down to get down, you know, he says he's got DNA profile, but he ain't saying that he got DNA profile on the sire. He's saying he got DNA profile on that dog. But how do we know who this dog is like he is unless we got a DNA profile off the daddy to prove that's how he is?
Itchy said Red Bull, POR, semen.
I don't know Red Bull. Is he a POR yet, Mike?
He said Hollowworth Bull and Yuckmouth.
No, not Hollowworth Bull and Yuckmouth. This is more of a Garner Red Bull off of Revenge. This Red Bull is off of SMK's Revenge, Champion Revenge. He's a sire to Buddy Love and Boss Lady in them. Yeah, but yeah, they got straws on him. You know, they had like that's just the new thing. As the guys is doing these Frenchies, you know, Frenchies is hard to breed. You know, they the one that didn't master the shit. You know, they the ones that mastered this shit because there's guys out there, you know, that really do take their dogs to a vet, pour the semen, take their dogs to the vet, have the vet put it in them. And then when they ready to have the puppies, take them back to the vet and they do a cesarean on the dogs and take the puppies out and give you the dogs and the puppies. Now, that's a lucrative business. You know what I'm saying? That's a lucrative business what the vet doing. So, and this is why those Frenchies and some of them bulldogs, them XLs, that's what they doing. But again, the question is, you need to verify a lot before you spend your money. Because you don't know who you really dealing with. You can get on the phone. I got somebody who got by somebody, on some sperm. It was supposed to be off a dog. The dude thought it was just a great price, and he shot off at it. See, I know Luke Kane sperm. I mean, for real, that's $10,000 to get you some Luke Kane. You want to get some Luke Kane? You can get some Luke Kane for 10 grand. Now, just imagine. You got a dog right off of Luke Kane. You know what I mean? Right off of Luke Kane. $10,000. Or you can buy some Luke Kane sperm to put in your dog for $10,000. But my question is, they have Luke Kane sperm DNA. What good is that if you ain't got Mayday in that segment of sperm of Luke Kane to say this dog's sperm? It says Luke Kane, but is this dog's sperm off of Mayday? Damn, Luke Kane. This tell me that this DNA profile has Mayday as the site. How you gonna do that if there's no profile on Mayday? The way we were able to get it down is we just knew that the father and the mother, the father and the son, had the same sire. That's all you can pick. That's all they can tell you. But some good points, all right, fellas? Something to think about. So it's, if you don't want to go through all that, then go get your ass in the car and go get what you want.
That work though.
It's about putting in that work. And think about the gas and the money and the hotels and all that stuff that you got to spend. But at least guess what? Doing it that way is more safer than you losing your money and getting nothing. Either way, you want to do so many checks and balances for you to protect yourself. Because everybody out here is not honest. And you're going to have more people out there with these fake ass dreams than you're going to have the real people just trying to do the real thing. And there's not enough what I would call, credible, recognizable kennels like, Earl Tootie. We know these people. We know these great kennel names. We hear them all the time out here. But them guys is gone. This thing of the rapport guys that we're doing business with now that ain't got, they got the dogs, but there's no history behind them and the dogs that they got. They just getting them because the dog is bred like this. He's double Dexter. Care about double Dexter? If he's double Dexter, I mean, he's a good bred dog with double Dexter, but that's just still a dog. What that mean? He's profile. Okay, then that means is he double Dexter? Will it show up in his profile? Did they got in there that his sire is Dexter with a profile on Dexter? So we got to do some homework. Let's get some input in that. Let's do a show about that. Let's do some homework. And then we're going to come back and we're going to discuss it. Somebody's going to go out there and do the research right along with me and hope we run into the same thing. You might be able to get in there and find some things that I didn't find. But I think that's something that I think that we need to work on. Let's build us a program, you know what I'm saying, to see if we can get our dogs, our sires, like you got a stat at your house, you know what I'm saying, good dog, right? Get a DNA profile on that dog. So if anybody wanted to buy something from your dog, you got paperwork on your dog's DNA profile. When you sell your puppy, you give them a profile of the sire. So when they DNA profile their dog, they have the sire's DNA as verifiable that this dog came off of the sire that he's registered under. You know, that just makes so much sense. You know, especially when you're looking at great dogs. Remember I told you about Jesse James. Look at all them Jesse James puppies running around. You know what I'm saying? 4-time winner Jesse James. Go pull that pedigree up. Let's pull it up. Let's see. Let's go see this shit. Let's go look. Let's go take a peek before I go. I'll be right with you, fellas. Okay, getting stuck to a female there. Champion East Coast. Has produced champion East Coast King James, 3-time winner. Champion STN's Black Dream, 3-time winner. Champion Stevie Boogie's 3-time winner. Champion Steve Jesse, 3-time winner, 1-time loser in Playboys. Kennels Julio, 2-time winner. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. Oh, Steve's Boogie, he had 2 champions off of him. But let's go look. Remember what I told you? I couldn't get shit. And you remember know this dog right here. See, the reason why I was breeding Sassy Girl to him. Let's go Red Baby. Check out her sibling. You know, that's Yellow Buck and Miss Nico. You know what I'm saying? She don't have no siblings here, but Baby. Ain't none of them right. But yeah, we seen all these. These are all different names, but yeah. Hold on, let me go find it. Let me just go do it. Hmm?
So one of them babies up there might be the right one.
Yeah, I bet I'm better off going to Miss Nico. That one. Try the blue one. That one. Hold on, guys. I'm trying to find the right Miss Nico here. Game Boy. You see, in each one of them, you see is something different. Let me just go to going hard, baby. I find it that way. I got sign in. Okay, my fault. How do I get over there, Mike? Baby, I know how to get there. You man. Okay. That's what I'm trying to find. That guy right there. All right, here we go. Let's celebrate Miss Nico. Now, there's the siblings. That's what I was trying to show you. There's baby there. There's Red Baby. There's Jesse Rod. There's Going Hard Wonder. Brandon Bozak. There's Boo Bear. Littermate. What am I looking for? Jesse Rod. Okay, there you go. Three pages. Not just a few. That's what I point out. 3 pages. Yeah, I'm looking at. What I'm showing y'all. Remember I told you? I said there was all these. Look at all these breedings. And you notice we ain't around, we know. A little hot rod. There's Kingpin off of Baby Lou. There go Black Dream. Now, you see this one here? This is one of them ones I was talking about. One of the later ones. Now, I can guarantee you, we can go to this dog right here, this breeding right here, and you'll find me another one. Of the siblings. See the fingerborn stuff? Only Black Dream. I was Black Dream off of Jesse James. How many Jesse James y'all see on this page? How many Jesse James y'all see on this page? See, this is one of the ones that I was talking about. This dog was getting bred to all these dogs, and I'm standing there breeding to him and ain't getting no puppies. This is one of those situations that I was telling you about. So if he wasn't giving me puppies and yet everybody was getting all these dogs off of Jesse James, how is these dogs really bred? If they ain't off of Jesse James, who they off of? Because I told you my dilemma. So how would we stop that? If you was to go twin, well, that means a lot of these dogs right here, you're trying to tell us is a lot of these dogs, 3 pages full, ain't off of Jesse James. And I'm telling you, you're correct. Yeah. 3 pages. It's all about the money. Now, when it comes down to Black Ice's breeding, Black Ice is right over there with him. I know that was breeding would have been with Jesse James would have been over there on the island. Okay, that is more of a true breeding than any other ones because that was done over there on the islands when Jesse James was sent to the States. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how long it was before his shit got broke, but it definitely got broke. And he wasn't producing. But yet people were still getting dogs and still breeding their dogs and coming back with Jesse James puppies. But what nobody getting none that was literally standing there breeding to the dog. Me for sure, I did it twice. So, just one of those things that I bring up because what was the whole purpose of lying about it? You know what I mean? When you
go to his house.
My friendship goes down the drain where our friendship and loyalty and trustworthiness is tested because you won't come clean to me and tell me don't breed to the dog twin because he ain't really have no puppy. Or you don't tell me at all and let me breed to the dog and still ain't getting no puppies. But everybody else is. What I tell you? Which one of these dogs ain't off of Jesse James and run around with Jesse James paperwork? Well, should it really matter? I mean, he really didn't really produce shit. I mean, we seen it on the one page. We had to go look. All we getting is these winners on these pages. That was baby right there. You go. Now we see all these. Look at all these champions. I guess this the Freedom Born one here. My question, is still, I'm trying to see if there's anybody else had any more pictures of them, but what I'm pointing out, as you can see, pedigrees and everything changed. And that's a lot of breeding. Now you can best believe in the 2 pages that we've seen of Jesse James, somebody's out there with some shit that ain't off of Jesse James. I'm just letting y'all know. And it's probably why it shows in the pedigree. I know Black Ice's dog because Black Ice was over there on the island. So dogs that was bred on the island, you got real Jesse James dogs. Them breeders y'all was making here in the States, it's very questionable. But, my thing is why we talking about this particular situation, because this is the kind of situation. What are they doing? They're selling stud feed. That's down there $1,000 to $1,500 stud fees that these people was paying, not knowing that some of these dogs was not even off of Jesse James. All of who when they was sending their dogs down to get bred, I mean, they ain't gonna say no. They gonna try to breed them something down there. They was breeding them something down there. They was having puppies, but the problem is they wasn't off of Jesse James. Now you gotta remember something. I bred to him twice. That means I bred to him and then had to wait till she came in heat again and tried to do it again. That's a whole year of breeding. So that means the whole year of breeding that I know he wasn't throwing shit. There was dogs out there coming off of Jesse James. You know what I'm saying? It just so happened that I'm standing there breeding to him and they're not. That's the things that I'm talking about. Is times 2 today. Those things like that is a prime example of what I'm talking about that's happening today. And then on those type of things, when you take your dog to go breed to somebody, and there's certain things that you must do before you pay the stud fee. Not no pay the stud fee, let's go do it. No, we pay the stud fee after I do it. I mean, if I'm going to breed 3 times, then I'm going to break it down in 3 times. Here's the other half of that one. Okay, here's the other one. If it's 1,000, he's going to get 3 third installments until I make all the breedings. Now, I'm not going to just walk off that yard and without some paperwork saying that this dog don't take. Now, I'll go spend the money for an X-ray because that's what I did with Angel. When Amber didn't have those puppies off Apache, I took her over, had an X-ray taken, took my X-ray, and I sent it to them to show you that she didn't have no puppies. That's how I was able to breed the Mayday free. Matter of fact, I never paid for a Mayday stud. Not one. And I bred to him twice. But again, why? That's the question. You want to make sure that, when you go take your stuff to get bred, don't go paying all the money, because what happened the next day you wake up, he gone. Yeah, made this trip. Now, he didn't pay the stuff, he got the money, and now he ain't all that interested in breeding your shit. And where he lives, you know what I mean? Or he might bring the dog out there to your room and be like, "Here, I'll bring him to you." Them kind right there, that's a no-go. I'll bring mine to you, because at least I know where you sleeping at in case you want to dip out. You bring the dog and you want to make the breeding in my hotel room, and then, this be the last day I see you. Because I don't know where you live. Now I got to depend on you answering the phone. Oh, we was cool. I thought we was cool. Shit, second time came around, couldn't find him. Third time came around, couldn't find him. So I'm still paying to stay here, trying to get something done that I only got done one time. And then you go home and you hope you have some puppies, because outside of that, the brother takes you to the left. But if you want to eliminate that, don't never let them bring the stud to you. You go to them. Never let them walk in the backyard and talk about, "Let them come back and hear them. I got my little artificial kit. I'm going to go back there and pull some straw and some draws, and I'm going to come back and go ahead and shoot him in." Well, why can't you just bring his ass up here to the front and do that right here where we standing here? because I wouldn't be taking no money out of my pocket before he walked back there. We'd be standing in front of the house arguing, that you won't get this money until I see him up here. You know what I'm saying? You want to see the breed, take pictures of it. Why you want to take pictures? Because you never know what you're going to have. The pictures I had with putting him out of being bred to Bozak, gone. Popos took them. I had the pictures of Amber being bred to Ace. Got them. You know what I mean? I had pictures of Red Ace being bred to Mayday. We got the Brat Mayday. But I used to have two or three pictures of Brat's mama being bred to Mayday. And this was before we took her to Puerto Rico. So, you just got to be careful, guys, and take heed to what I'm saying. There's so many things while y'all trying to put this new thing together in the game. Y'all don't put enough emphasis because you got a lot of haters out there. And the only reason you got a lot of haters out there because everybody want to be better than everybody. And what's the purpose of being better than everybody? And why are you hating? Because you are selling your shit. Or you are making breedings that look like great breedings. You know what I'm saying? But with no categorical, proof that that's what you got. And guys, there's too many guys out here getting ripped off in all ways of the game. And I'm just trying to make you guys aware of that. We'll talk more about it. We'll definitely talk more about it. And we're going to do some research. I need, I want you guys to take heed of that and make sense because a lot of the dwellers, man, I walk down the railroad track. You know what I'm saying? I told you I got night vision. They old, but I got night vision. No, I'm trying to stay in the dark. What's that?
Big shout out to my man Sporting Dog Archive in the house. I see you, fam. He said, well, who was around on the island at the time? The shit blood probably still running around all out there. The island ain't but so big.
I'm trying to tell you, it was. See, remember Nico Jr., Yellow Buck, Jesse James, Miss Nico, all them dogs. Miss Nico, she came over. Yellow Buck didn't make it over. He died in Puerto Rico. But Miss Nico, she was here in the States. But what I'm saying is, those breedings that Jesse Rod made, was made with, those wasn't done by Jesse. See, Jesse was here in the States. See, when they bred him over there, when it's time for them to publicize a dog, they send their dogs to Jesse. And that's all Jesse does. He collects. He collects that money. He did it with Nico. He did it with Nico. Did I say he did it with Nico? Yeah, not as much. Tony did it with Nico. Because Jesse didn't have Nico. Jesse had Yellow Buck. But, he had him up for stud. But when it came down to studying him out to the public, the advertisement, it came through Jesse. Nico Jr., he was here in the States. He bred a lot. Jesse Rod was here in the States. He was bred a lot. But, like I said, he ended up coming clean and telling me the dog's dick was broke. Bent, and it pinched off his shit. Because if I'm not having puppies, the same thing I said about Victor. When Victor left, Victor had 13 people. I'm one of them 13. Didn't have no puppies. And then I always say, why advise my proteges, now that y'all got made to, just the same when you go get in profile, you don't have to have Mayday to get in profile. All you have to do is ask that question: is Maytu and Brat, do they have the same father? The DNA profile will tell you. If they don't tell you who the dog is, they're going to tell you that the dog, the father and the mother came off the same dog through the profile. So we know who the mother's off of. That I know for a fact. But I always wondered, did Victor do a foo on me? Because it's easy for Maytu to come out looking like Mayday when you're coming out looking like more like Amber and Brat and them, because they all are red, and our Mayday dogs was all red noses. We had more red noses than we had the black-faced dogs. So just to get that clarified when they had Maytu's profile, that was a question that got answered. And because I always wondered, now how did he go over there and do that? And then you had Brad over there for damn near a year. She didn't take the first one. No, she didn't. That's why and on top of getting sick, and then you got to do it again. And that's the picture y'all see to be happening on the show. That's the second time. Yeah, he hoped like hell that she would have some puppies, but who to say? Take the pictures of that, turn it right around, go get Mayday Jr. and go ahead and stick her to him, and we get some puppies out of that. Yeah. Why would it be unfindable? It definitely could be done. Just take a picture. Because they stuck don't mean it's his sperm. It just showed me a picture that they connected. Okay, well, let's go see. Because just the same, you might have did that after she got bred to the, Mayday Jr. Or wherever they was breeding to. Because they didn't fix him. He was all down in Texas. Remember with the macho buck stuff, how you going to be left in, go to the island. Go over there to Ecuador. Ain't throwing shit now when you left. But now we throwing dogs again. And out of all people who you sending to, who you Victor send them to, he sends them to Evolution. Evolution just so happened to have a connection with Stone City very much. So you see what I'm saying? And then Evolution would be the mediator. And remember, he's all about the money like Chico Lopez. So let's just go hypothetically. Hypothetically, wonder what was going on when they bought Blondie and you got Mayday down there in Texas breeding to Blondie, with us knowing that the possibility that he's shooting blanks is almost 90 to nothing. With 13 people before he left, and now all of a sudden these puppies is popping up. Mayday, Mayday, but we over here in Ecuador. We ain't got no other choice but to believe that's how they breed, right? Okay? Mm-hmm. Yeah, they selling dogs. Get to Texas with Mayday to breed the Blondie, y'all don't know. It could have been Mayday Jr. Maybe the Victor didn't, the right kind of language. They didn't already made the conversation. Well, I know Tony went with Blondie. But seems like my question is, did Tony drop Blondie off? Or did he take Blondie back with him? Because Macho Buck didn't move. He never left the yard. Why did they get Macho Buck? Macho and Macho. See, Macho and Macho, they off the Blondie Mayday breed. They are. Then the Macho Buck came off a breed, I think it was Macho or Macho. It could have been Macho. I think it's Macho. But those were Mayday Blondie breedings. And they was all red. But that's not uncommon. It's not uncommon because a lot of those dogs, you know, on the Stone City side came out buckskin like yellow, red brindle, you know, and red noses. But you never know. You know, today's era, y'all should be able to know now. There's enough technology out there that y'all should be able to know now. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to know. And that's what we're going to be working on. We're going to do some research and probably put a day show together. We're going to do a little research and see if there's a way we can stop the Maurice Carver syndrome or the Pat Patrick mistake. You know what I mean? Because it's all about them selling dogs. There's no other reason to cheat y'all but to get your money selling you something. A working man, with these dogs shouldn't have to be going through that in today's technology. You get caught up in reading the pedigree so damn much you're not even paying attention to the dog you buying the pedigree. If you feel like that, then continue doing that. You ain't doing nothing with it but bragging on the pedigree. But if you were bulldogging and you really want to know, and the bottom line, because if it don't turn out right, you know, you can call the shit for what it is. It's bullshit. Or you can call it and say, I knew that dog wasn't off of no good shit like that because the dog don't act nothing like it. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you did just research and then there's just certain characteristics about these dogs that you knew it was gonna click. You know, they didn't make the breed. They made the breeding to create Sarah Kell after the little buck was already on the ground. So Kell and them came in the second breeding. But every one of those dogs was good bred dogs. The yellow buck, Miss Nickel, breeding was damn near to me like yellow being bred to Dolly. You know what I mean? They created Mayday in them. Because that's just how the Stone City dogs are bred. You know, they was bred this way, and they produced a whole line of dogs like Southern Kennels did. And they just so happen to be the same crosses. And each one of them, at some point, you know, making money, probably did a couple bits of lying because they're not going to turn down that $1,000 stairs fee you sent over there. They're going to make damn sure that they sent you something back in that dog's gut. Or that $2,500 puppy came out of another group of puppies than the puppies you actually think you got. These are all the things that we need to do to secure the game because the market is high. It's all about the market today. You know, back then it was a different story, a different way, way of doing things. And you have to look at today where you got, times 90% of the people out here in this game brags on their dog that ain't doing nothing but having a great pedigree. And they sit there and they brag about their dog. You know, they're proud of their dog. They have every right to be. They feed that dog. But as the truth of the matter is what I'm asking. Are you buying the paperwork? Most of you are. And you see money when you see it. And I'm going to be making a killing on these puppies. You know? And then the next thing you know it, here's a story on it. Oh, Lord, I know Twin messed this up. I got Jesse Rod in my shit. Well, you might not be Jesse Rod. You might not be. Not saying that these dogs weren't producing dogs. What I'm saying is you can tell the difference on the ones that it was working compared to the ones that it didn't. Why should it change?
3 pages, though?
3 pages?
They went nuts.
No. You know, and that says a lot. You know what I'm saying?
That's what we fell out over.
Basically that's what we fell out over. You know, I didn't know we had fell out until years later why we fell out. But I knew he had stopped wanting to deal with me. You know, he disappeared. But you know, I got my old friend, you know, he's still around back in, you know, gave me insight, but just the point that, you know, it's old and dead. I always loved Jesse because he was definitely more friend to me than I must have been to him. Because I would have never thought twice. We broke bread in, you know, I broke bread in his house. Maybe I needed him to break bread in my house. And then he could have probably sat there at the table, you know, smoking and drinking and told me, man, you know, Jesse's ain't producing shit, man. So don't breathe to him. He ain't throwing that. But I do be, you know, guys be sending me that shit between, you know how it is. You know, Pat Patrick, Maurice Carver, you know, about that money. You know, and I believe that. I don't think Jesse wouldn't do it. Yes, I do. Why wouldn't I think that when you did it to me? And we are close friends. To the point that we fell out, but you still came clean and told me. In the end, but the defenses you put up was trying to belittle me like I did something wrong. But just letting you know, that's just how this shit go out here. And, you know, some people ain't going to give in. They're going to hold that lie to the wall. But let's just think about it, guys. Let's structure it where we can cut down on that. Let's make sure we getting what we paying for. Make sure that we even getting what we paid for. You know, when it comes to buying them and getting them shipped to you or buying them, hey, take your dog there and do it, or go there and pick your shit up. And that's much of, I mean, Mike did a great show. I just wanted to touch in on that.
Vernon Starr said, you remember Victor getting straws off Mayday?
He never got straws off Mayday.
Tell him how you know, Mo.
Because I know. They tried to get straws off in Mayday. They had Mayday in a university in Texas. In a university, trying to build up his sperm count. Mayday don't have straws. Never had straws. Never had straws. When they tested him in that university, with all that work that they put into Mayday, Mayday's sperm count was too low and never be able to store or even produce anything coming off of Mayday's straws that they pulled on Mayday. There was no straws. There was no need for no straws because there was no sperm. There's not enough strong sperm to even put in a straw. That's how I know. Remember, guys, I might be the dark guy of the crew, but I was closer to Victor than everybody around know. Remember, he took my champion over there with him, so he wasn't like a stranger to me. Tony came to Tampa, Florida before they made that breeding that made it a blondie. He came to Tampa, Florida to talk to me. That's how close I was to those guys. Because what? They're trying to see, is Victor cool? Why else would you come? I'm cool with both of them. So when I speak it, I know what I'm talking about. I got to hear third hand. Man, they never had no straws pulled on it. Never. Again, that brings the question that even when Mayday was over there, why you think they sent him to Texas? What was the purpose to send him to the university? If there wasn't a problem, like I said it was. You know, y'all put that together. I'm just telling you what happened. It still brings me back to, again, he had to have something left in him when he made that breeding. Because I said damn near a year after he left Ecuador, Victor was still breeding Mayday damn near 3-4 years after he left Miami. I'm talking about within the first year. Brett was bred to Mayday in Miami and got sick. No, she wasn't having no puppies. That's why I let him take her. But Victor had her almost a year. So I'm still in that line of that first year. Now, all of a sudden, when did Mayday and Blondie get bred? Long after. Long after Brat was bred to Mayday. So, yeah, there's questions to all that shit when it comes to me. Even the people involved. Even the people involved. A good secret to be kept, but not everybody kept the secret. Because then nobody ever explained to me how they made it start having puppies again. It's never been proven that he was sterile. So there was never been proven that they got him straight. Never been proven that they got Mayday straight. When I know Mayday was sterile when he left Ecuador. Maybe not to the point where, he had left us 13 litters short. And I always, like I said, I questioned Maytu. Who else was Brat bred to? Yeah, we got the pictures, but guess what? You didn't show me 3 days of breeding either. Let the DNA profile speak for itself, because you should be able to tell me that was a good thing. If you really want to know if you got a Mayday dog, what better way would I know that if I'm sitting there with the mama? And the mama being bred back to the father. So it wasn't hard for them to check Maytu, because we know what the results are supposed to tell us. It's supposed to say Mayday is the father to Brat and Maytu. That's all it's going to tell you. That the mother and the offspring are both off of the same dog. There was no straws on Mayday. They tried to fix him. They couldn't fix him. Not even the people at the university. Yeah, he was at the university at a veterinarian school, college, trying to get his burn count up. Why? Who's paying for it? Everybody out there who's breeding the Mayday. While he down there in Texas in the lab, you're out there breeding a little Mayday Junior on the yard. You know what I'm saying? Just keeping it real with y'all. There was no straws on Mayday. Never had been no straws on Mayday. And with all the damn dogs, and this is just through memory of what I know, people don't know this, but I remember the litter. And there's a whole lot of puppies in that litter that wasn't in there when they first was born. I'm just letting you know. It wasn't that many puppies in that litter.
Which litter?
Mayday the Blondie. And we're still talking about Kennels that was doing nothing but marketing and selling these dogs. In the beginning, it was nothing but macho and matcha. Those was the ones that was going around. Now, I know they ended up at Evolution. Why did they end up there? What did Evolution got to do? Nothing but house the dogs. You know what I'm saying? Remember, they got Blondie and they got Mayday. But why do I hear nothing about nobody else but Evolution with Blondie Mayday? And it wasn't even their dogs. Not Jesse or Victor. Think about it. I'm done.
My man Union Connie said he remembered when he was up for stud in the journal.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta remember, Mayday.
He was up for stud for a long time.
Right.
I mean, Brat was mother was bred to Mayday before she went into Tommy Boy.
He wasn't even a grand champion.
He wasn't even a grand champion when Bred Ace bred to Mayday. So that's how long ago that was. That was like 95. Bratton was like born in 95.
Remember, Brad and Luke came was the first
Yep.
champion. Oh, look at all that shit that came after that.
Yep. But but he was breeding. He was already, Victor had made a lot of breedings right there in Miami. A lot of breedings came right out of Miami. A lot of those breedings came out of Miami. But he was breeding them for $850 stud fees when he was in Miami. $850. You could breed the Mayday for $850. Me, I ain't have to pay shit, but I know he was up for stud for $850 in the journal a lot. But that was when he was in Miami. I've been there to the yard 4 times. Did you hear what I said? I've been to the yard 4 times. Dropped one off. Come all the way back to pick it up. Right? That's 2 right there. And then you go down there with Brat. Drop one off. Didn't make it to go pick it up. But I went back to go pick up Apache and saw her sick. And I had Apache and Brat down there. Apache came back with Babesia. And before I knew it, she had passed it to Little Buck, and that's what Little Buck died from. She didn't take from Little Buck, and she didn't take from Mayday. She was bred to Mayday, and that's where she got the Babesia from. She didn't get it from no other dog but him, because I was the only dog that she bred to. When I bred her to Little Buck had caught Babesia. And so did she. She had Babesia. When I got her checked, I used to feed her a whole bunch of food trying to put weight on her, but it was like her stomach and stuff was fat, but you could just still see her backbone and shit like she was skinny or had worms, but she didn't have worms. And I still turned around. She came in heat, working on her like 6, 7 months, and and just got used to her looking like that. When she came in here, I bred a Little Buck to her and looked around there, and Little Buck caught Babesia. And shortly after she was bred to him, she never did get to the puppies because she died from Babesia. And then shortly after that, he died. But it's probably what Brat had when she got sick, because they was both down there together. I just didn't let Victor give me her back. Apache, she didn't look that bad, but Brat looked it bad. And I wasn't taking her off his yard. You're going to trade me Mayday if that bitch died. I'm not playing. I'm looking at the conditions, and I got a reason to fuss. Believe me, I had every reason to fuss, because I don't know what was going on down there, but it was like they throwing raw chicken out there on the ground to the dogs, and it smelled like raw chickens all around the area. It was not what I would be trying to keep my great grand champion in. It was terrible. You could tell it was a nice setup, but lack of care could really make a bad situation, and that's probably what got him in trouble, where they started pressing on him. And he had to get the hell out of there, or he probably would have lost all of them. But yeah, I know a lot. Okay, that's it. Any more questions? Anybody got any more questions?
G-Ville said Twin was on game early with the Red Boy Jocko Bolio dogs. He kept telling us it's gonna be the new wave. It's gonna be the new wave. And look at it now.
Sure, you're right. You're right. You dead ass right. And they was around when it was done. They seen the puppies. They seen the babies. They seen they seen the move. They was right there. They was part of it. They still standing right there when I made it, and they was right there, and they'll tell you, they can vouch. Yeah, they was mad when Twin did that shit. They was not happy at all when Twin did that. And I was cool with both of them. I was cool with Jesse before I knew Victor. I was cool with Angel before I knew Jesse. You know, I knew Jesse after meeting Angel. And once Angel hooked me up with Jesse, you know, Tommy Boy is the only reason I went to Puerto Rico. I got to know Jesse and them pretty good. I'm looking at all them damn champions and how they was doing with that buck stuff. I'm already dealing with Mayday, and I'm realizing that they bred alike. So I'm seeing the results. So yes, I was interested. Yes, I was interested in Stone City. Stone City wanted to hook that match up between Tommy Boy and Red Ace. Not understanding why you taking this first time out dog out, and I told you this bitch is a killer that they putting you trying to go into. And I'm trying to tell Jesse the reason why I'm coming. You ain't seen what I call a killer. I know what you call a killer, but you ain't seen what I call a killer. I'm bringing, I'm going out with this first time out dog. I'm going into that full-time winner. You know? And it was cool either way. Even after that, because I came back with a little buck. But on top of that, I had so much fun in Puerto Rico. I love Puerto Rico. I love the way Tony and them showed the love. You know, I stayed in a house that they hadn't even moved into, and it was like some shit you see on Scarface. Tony had a badass house built out there. Jesse ended up moving into to Florida, but Jesse had a nice house too. But the house that they had wasn't nothing like the house that Tony had built. I saw Nico in the old house. You know, I seen Nico in the old house. Jesse had a nice house. It was nice, fenced in. It's a beautiful place anyway. You know, it's just that the yellow buck knew how to open the gate. I mean, he did it right there while we was there. We made a comment on that. We literally made a comment on that. When I seen that dog open that gate, I was like, man, you don't worry about something happening to that dog. I was a grand champion guy running loose in the yard, and I just seen that dog open up the gate and walk out of it. He said, yeah, Twin, he be doing that. And damn sure that's how he died. Opened the gate and got hit by a dump truck Christmas Eve. As a matter of fact, it was Christmas Day. Christmas Day. So, yes, I'm very familiar with the guys. And I always wondered what that connection was to Evolution and how Evolution capitalized, just like Chico Lopez capitalized off of those two kennels coming together, getting that done based on something I bought together. So I got a chance to ride it in there and take those peaks, and always wondering when Macho Buck got that dog of the year. Remember, I know these guys, so I see what's going on. Work Kennels is the same Work Kennels that made Yellow Buck grand champion. Now he owns the Journal. He gets in trouble. But all these other badass dogs, well, okay, why is he on the cover? How do you think I don't know what I'm talking about? I know, telling y'all that this dog here, there's several dogs that deserve dog of the year over that dog. I'm not hating. How can I be hating on some guys that I'm getting? Oh, one more dog. Remember, what was his name, Mike? The old macho dog that we had. What was his name? Yeah, the chocolate dog. I can't remember. No, the one that grabbed the frog. Yeah, the one that came through the fence and grabbed him, had him stretched out there. I had to give him some. My mind is so much I can't even get to the thing. Damn, what was his name? Pyro. That was his name. Pyro. Think I'm bullshitting. There you go, right there. Tim, I don't know what I'm talking about. Right there. See that? Yeah, that's my dog. I ain't paid for them. They gave me that dog. I'm for Macho Buck. So, like I said, that's how close I was.
Twin, you don't never talk about that one.
Because the bottom was trash. He was a decent dog, but he wasn't nothing to my caliber. That's why I sold him too. You know, some guys up north had him. Yes, some guys up north had him. But I was gonna breed him to baby. Sure was. I just couldn't get past this shit here. That looked like some stupid shit that they do. You know, I did not like him. He was crazy, but he wasn't game. I mean, no, he wasn't no cur. No, because he didn't never quit. What I meant was he didn't have no ability. Man, he was game, but he had no ability. Yeah, but I sold him to some guys up north. Yeah, those dogs have nice bodies. Got to give them that. But when I tell y'all what I know, I'm telling y'all what I know. I'm in there telling y'all what I know. Like I was saying with this shit here. That's matcha right there. Now matcha, you see her color? That's a Stone City color. That is not a Mayday color. It's a Stone City color. She took the Mayday body, but the Stone City color. I mean, yep, Mayday ears. Yep, but Stone City had those ears too. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Look like buck. Yep. No, they didn't make the breeding but one damn time, y'all. Look at this shit. You think I don't know what I'm talking about? Y'all think I don't know what I'm talking about? And I know they only made the breeding once. Now y'all explain that. So don't tell me. Y'all figure that shit out. I'm standing right there. I ain't running around saying it to everybody or telling everybody, but the years in past, now I tell y'all what the deal was, the real deal was. I'm going to tell you. I know Métis was one of them. I know for a fact she was one of them because she was on the island. I know Comeback was one of them because he was on the island. This breeding was done on the island. I'm talking about these puppies made it back to Puerto Rico. You don't see evolution. You see all that stone, you see all that Southern Kennel shit? All that extra shit? But look, that's why I was trying to tell y'all about Mr. Little Mayday, Mr. Mayday. See how I cut off? Remember I told y'all about Kunta? Look at that. There it is again. See the white feet? Looking just like Kunta, his damn self. looking just like Kunta. Except he ain't got the airplane ears like Brat. He just goes off to the left. Goes off to the left. Was it in the time period? It was closely in the time period. But to me, again, they had Mayday little what's his name? Mayday Jr. You could have took this dog and stood him next to Mayday, and you would have never knew the difference. Tell me, like I don't know what I'm talking about, right? Y'all don't know. I know. If there was anybody being bred to these dogs, it was Mayday Jr. When they made this breeding here, again, Brat was there almost a year, and still, it was after Brat that the Mayday breeding to Blondie took place. After Little Buck was bred to Sassy Girl. That means that breeding was made. They made the connection. That was well over a year plus when they made this breeding. That's why I question it. Because it fell into evolution, and these guys was they wasn't right. They wasn't right. Yeah, that's the DNA profile to him, but it ain't the DNA profile. If you was to ask that question, how you gonna test that question right there? We got his profile. Now you want to know if he was off of it? If I'd have had Mate 2's profile to match to his profile, it should be able to tell us that Mate 2 and Damien had the same sire. Not Mate 2 was a sire off of Mayday, and this dog was a son who came off the sire, because the dog is in his is in his DNA, but he wasn't the sire. It was a son off of Mayday that would be in this dog's sire. Act like I don't know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm.
My man Sporting Dog Archive, he said, Sporting Dog says, is the Stone City stuff World Star got any good? If not, where did the Stone City blood go?
I think the Stone City blood has been around. I mean, that's what Destroyer and all them is. Awesome beasts. Luca, yeah, Luca was. Yeah, but Luca was off of Lucane.
Stone City had it, didn't
Yeah, Stone City had her. Yep.
To me, that's still Stone City blood because they had Luca.
Yep. They had Luca. They definitely had Luca.
It's still around there, Sporting Dog.
Yeah, Stone City still got dogs out there. There's dogs. I know where the Stone City dogs are now. Bred just like this dog. But coming off of other dogs, off of the Stone City dogs. Yes, indeed. Yellow Buck produced a lot of dogs. Not just Blondie, I'm talking about Yellow Buck.
Just think if he had to live.
Yeah, just imagine if Yellow Buck hadn't got hit. Imagine the dogs that he would have threw. And he didn't have no problems producing shit. You know, Victor, I think his problem with Mayday was the same problem I had with Brat. The steroids started catching up on him. Because when he was breeding Mayday in the early years, when Mayday became a champion, he was a 4-time winner when we bred Red Ace to him. And we was probably one of the first people that got to him that wasn't being bred to Mayday off the yard. Because he had a bunch of puppies coming off of Mayday in Miami. But Brat was probably one of the first dogs that went to Mayday because didn't nobody really know who he was. Miami definitely started knowing who he was because he was knocking off shit. He wasn't knocking them off over there in Ecuador and down in Miami. Mayday was getting around because Angel had him. That's how he was going into those boys up there in the New York area, in the Jersey area. And that's how Dead End lost to Mayday because Mayday went to Puerto Rico. Y'all want to know the story? Trust me, I know the breakdown. You know what I'm saying, people? Everybody, all of us ain't dead. There's some of us still around. Guy like me right here, still around, to tell you the truth of what was going on. That's why I always question the evolution thing, like I always question Chico, because I know their practices. And I always wondered, there's something to this because neither one of them were saying nothing about what evolution was doing. Jesse wasn't saying nothing, nor was Victor. Why is it like that?
Big shout out to my man John Smith in the house, aka Super Kennels J. What up, fam?
What's up, Jay? What's up, Jay? Come on, man. You got my number, man. You got to stay in touch with me and give me some, you got to let me know you're still out there, fellas. I'm still giving y'all that shout out. I'm just telling a story that I know. Like I said, before they ever took Blondie to Texas, on the way to Texas, before he left to go there, he came to Tampa, Florida. Tony did. Tony had Blondie. Not Jesse. Tony. Tony's the one that took Blondie over there. And I always wondered, how are they letting this dude do this and they ain't saying nothing? I mean, how you gonna kick up a whole goddamn litter?
No one.
And knowing it was more than two. It was like 4 of them. I know, like I said, I can point them out which ones came back. $23 puppies. I know some of them might be the same dogs in here. See, a lot of them might be the same ones. But like I said, Matcha was definitely one of them. Macho was definitely one of them. Métis, you see, Acart's Métis. Oh. There you go. Let me put it back up. Acart's Métis. Southern Kennels, Diana. You don't even see Hannah yet. And all those dogs, where Champion Hannah at? She popped out. No comeback. These are the dogs that ended up back in Puerto Rico. Yeah, they took some and then Victor had some. But then Evolution had some. Because Matcha and Macho, you see Southern Kennels here, right? Now, Evolution had Macho. See where they got him under? I told y'all. I said Mayday was in Texas. Where's evolution at? Texas. You know, look at all them Southern Kennels. See all that? If you just to go pick out the certain ones, you see what you're seeing. They sort of bunch of damn little dogs. You know, look, Ginger Day. Never heard no damn Ginger Day. You got West Penn. You got West Penn with Soul. And then there's another Soul up in here. I know I used to, yep, Caldwell Soul. Same dog. Now either they came out of Puerto Rico, was the ones you can point out the Puerto Rico ones. Definitely gonna point out the Puerto Rico because Comeback was one of them. And Métis was one of them. You know, if you notice, you don't see one Stone City on here. Right there, Comeback. The only one. And they the ones with the female. Perking ears. Eyeballs. Do I see eyeballs? I'm pointing some shit out.
GBO said, I still say Lil Buck would have been one of the best producers possible. He had a golden dick.
Yeah, he did. I believe that too. Yep, I sure believe that too. Cause that was one nice ass breeding. No, the dogs came out nice, and they were producers. And that was just one litter. It didn't take a whole bunch of dogs to do that. The only two that really showed up. Little Yellow Day got stolen. Bucko, he got sold to a guy, Mr. Jefferson. D-Day, he got a messed up leg, and he went to the neighborhood. Yep, he went to the neighborhood. Then the other female that quit, we got rid of her. But that was it. And the ones that was the last of standing two was just Bebe. It was really three. Bebe, Buck Rogers, and Bucko. And you'll see all three of them dogs on my yard. All three. I bred the Nico. I'll show you all. You see the puppies that was off of Nico. Yellow Nico and Blondie too. Was off of Nico and Sassy. You'll see them on my yard. Got pictures of them on the yard. See, when you're doing stuff like that right there, then there's a better understanding. When you don't see me doing it. What they saw that night when no puppies got in that box. There wasn't but two puppies missing. That wasn't on that yard, and that was D-Day and a little female that got sold and came back. And she got a little older and she quit. When he bought her back, we didn't keep her. Other four, I know where they were. Three of them was on the yard and one of them went down to Mr. Jefferson. Jefferson's Bucko. So, when I tell y'all these stories, it's not like, I don't know what I'm talking about. I be trying to give y'all the facts because I don't do nothing without receipts. And, when somebody asks, how you know so much about them, twin? Because I knew them both. Remember, I'm the one that put them together. Okay, Mike, is anything else, man? The Bucko was a badass dog, his damn self. I lost him. I made his babesia worse by putting him in a keep. You know, the work and the stress, and it made it show up even worse. You know, thinking the keep would fix it what I thought was wrong. And then when I got her Apache tested for babesia, you know, she had it bad. She ended up dying from it. And then I had Lil Buck tested because I'm getting ready to go in a couple of days, and you know, he kept getting, his keep wasn't doing good, and I was trying to decide what I can make it. And what happened, 2 days out, I kicked him to the vet to get him checked, and he had babesia. Within 3 days after that, he was dead. I lost Apache, I lost Little Buck, and I lost Buck Rogers' daughter. Damn, what was her name? Damn, forgot her name. She looked just like Pretty Mama. But I lost her to babesia. But by the time, you know, I shouldn't have lost her because May too had babesia. Yep, he had babesia.
By that time, you had figured out.
Yeah, by that time, when Maytu got it, I had the medicine. I had that yellow medicine the Russians had, thanks to high tech. Kennels that had that Grand Champion grip. He had sent me the medicine, and he sent me enough medicine that, you know, the people around the country that was running into it, I was the supplier. I was supplying that shit all over the country. Because people started finding out going hard, got the shit for the babesia. Because high tech gave me all that medicine. And he gave me that medicine to help out the people around the country that was getting it, because the FDA wouldn't let it into the country, so you know it was coming through the black market, where he was able to get it. And since he was able to get it and I wasn't, so I didn't know where it was coming from, and by me getting it, if I got caught with it, what? I don't know. You know, that's why he let me do it, and believe me, I sold a lot of it.
Saved a lot of dogs.
Saved a lot of dogs. Yep, saved ours and a lot of other people's dogs around the country. It was that real deal too, because whatever that shit was, it was working. You follow the directions exactly the way it was told to me, it definitely took care of the babesia. You know, and that's still like doggy age around here. I'm hoping that, you know, there's medicine out here now to combat it, because it got to a point that it had got bad. And it's still around, because there's guys out here that I know that dogs have contracted babesia. I just wonder if there's a medicine out there outside that Russian medicine that I had that was better than that Russian medicine to treat babesia now. You know, because that's be a good medicine to have on your yard. Because for the basement dwellers, you know, they need, because if you're putting your dog in contact and you run into somebody who's got babesia, then you best believe it's like doggy age. The contact in itself, the blood transfer, gives your dog babesia. That's how they were getting it through breeding or blood transfer. And that's how they was getting it. So that would be a good medicine for guys in the basement to even, you know, because you never know who got it. And that's how we lost the Pretty Mama female, you know, Roger Ramjet's little May's sister. You know, I got her back just to turn around and lose her to babesia.
All right, fellas, we at that time.
I had to go in there and do a one more run check, man. That give y'all something to think about. Hit rewind, go through that stuff and be like scratching your head. filling in some gaps to some beliefs that you thought, it was only thoughts, Yeah.
All right, gentlemen. All right, we close out the night right quick.
Hey, y'all, dude, look at my face getting smaller, man. Don't look like I'm sick, do I?
Look at mine.
Look at my face, man. It's like it's shrinking up and shit.
Look at mine turning colors and shit. I told you this box. Skin ain't been right since this box been in me. Hey, look here, y'all. Tonight, we covered a lot of things, but tonight was meant to just to help you. Educational. Bring you up on some things. The bullshit been around for quite some time. Y'all just have to be aware of the bullshit, even in our situation. Just to give you an example, what it looks like, what it really looks like when the people who up there, what that does to you. I mean, why would you be, you never seen that the whole time, and then all of a sudden you start seeing it. And you know why you start seeing it? Because that money make people do strange things. And this is just an evident fact to us. See, this ain't something that nobody got to tell us. These are things that we've seen and experienced for ourselves.
Kenny, Mayday Jr. looked just like Mayday.
You couldn't tell the
difference.
difference.
You couldn't tell the difference. You could not tell the difference.
But when you got that, you know how that supply and demand work, man? I'm in the business. Right now, I got a person who got an oven, a pizza shop. Their oven done went down. They damn near forced to spend $4,000 to save their franchise. But without it, they don't have nothing. That's how important that shit be. They willing to pay $150 to have the damn parts next day. Now, people I'm buying this part from, the price tag is so high on this part because this part is not for every type of oven. So they sitting back and they charging an arm and a leg just to get this part. This is the same thing they doing these dogs, man. If the dog can't do it, then they going to get an aftermarket. I call it the aftermarket effect. You're going to get a supplement part. It's going to be superseded by Mr. Mayday Jr. Shit. Or Jesse Rod. I don't know how he put that shit, but the big Jesse Rod, 3 pages. But when that money go to rolling, man, these things do happen. How can you prevent these things from happening? To you.
I mean, it's the same thing with Carl and them did. Come on, we hear it all the time. But what makes you think that there was anything different? And I told you evolution was doing it.
See, these things have always been a part of the game. But if you're putting in the work, what he's basically trying to say, none of this would matter if you wasn't, if it was just a dog on a chain.
Right. It wasn't no these normal dogs.
These aren't normal dogs we're talking about here. These were all dogs that had a purpose. And due to their purpose, they became very valuable dogs. So, yeah, these things happen, and you guys just have to be aware of it. This is nothing new. It's actually have always been going on, but you have to pay attention. And then, again, it don't matter, really, if you just got dogs sitting on the chain. That's all.
Right. If you ain't doing
if you ain't don't even need to worry about it. Why should it matter? But for the ones who putting in that work, for the ones that's trying to build something, the last thing you want to do is, find out you've been foo-foo. Because if it turned out to be a good dog, it don't matter. But if y'all had noticed, this with the breedings he was showing you, the Jesse James dog that was in Puerto Rico never produced like the Jesse James dog that was here in Florida. Never. It ain't there.
Yeah, the dogs in Florida didn't produce like the dogs in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, the dogs in Puerto Rico produced better than the dogs that was here in Florida. I mean, when you know the reason why, and you be like, why? You know, you kind of
wonder if they sent the dog over there knowing that the dog dick was broke.
Yeah, well, true. That's true. But the fact that he tried to do the shit with the argument, you know, it led to the dismantling of a friendship. And it wasn't do nothing that Mo did. The fact that I just heard him arguing about it. You know, and you just, you know, totally know Mo. I know Mo knew what he was talking about. You know, so that's what led to me stepping in. Cause that, if it's like that, say something. But right now, it's check-in time. You got to check it in.
I don't care what you're doing to everybody else, but I know there's some shit here.
Right, we supposed to be cool.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what money do. And then again, he just didn't want us to, like, I mean, even after you knew, you still didn't put him on blast. I mean, I did. I didn't put him on blast. I just took care of the situation the way I feel about it. We didn't run out there and tell everybody. We can tell everybody now because, look, we got damn 3 pages full of that shit. A lot of that shit that we knew, you hear us talk about it now because now you can go back and look at it and see for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
But when you living during that time period, you have every right to be looking at everybody sideways because, hell, if you do it to your friends, everybody else ain't got a chance. But this is what the dog game do. And so when you having these dogs and that chain space is valuable to you, them the people I'm really talking to, even the newbies on the block, hey, don't none of this matter unless the dog is worthy of talking about. And if you're really out there putting in that work, regardless of what you're doing, how you're doing it, the fact is you want to be appreciative of the work that you put in. And the only reason you want to put your heart and dedication in that because you believe in what you have. Which means you have to believe everything about what you have. Because in the end, it's not going to be about what you say and what you see. It's going to be about what the dog do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's regardless of what it is. So y'all keep them little tidbits in mind. Appreciate everybody for showing out. Big shout out to all my people who were showing that love with them super chats.
What's up, fam?
G-Ville. I see you, fam. Burning Star. Sporting Dog Archive, Trial and Air, you know, them just the big dogs in the house. Got to always give them some rep. Big shout out to Pro for stopping in, putting the shout out in.
What's up, Pro?
See you, fam. Glad to see you. To Red Bobby, all my other good people out there. Good conversation, man. Love to have y'all doing what y'all doing, especially when it's you guys is going to be making everything in the future look, you know, take the role it's going to take because it's not going to be about the old dogs anymore.
Mm-hmm. Carry the truth with you.
Carry the truth with you. That's all we saying. Carry the truth with you. The only way you're going to ever make a change is you got to just see what you find out is wrong and try not to be that person. But y'all know it's still doing the same thing today. It's even more profitable today because now everybody, I mean, there's no accountability nowhere. So, you know, that's the part of the, you know, we're not involved in that part. So, but then again, if you know it, you're aware of it, to see it, this game is too big to be involved in it. That's all. If it don't sound right, it ain't right. Put it like that. So while I got y'all's attention, y'all need to show me some damn thumbs up if it's working for you. Thumbs up. If you know what I'm talking about. Thumbs up. Now show some damn muscles. We need them damn muscles. Okay. I need some muscles this time because this shit right here is all in your strength of your work, what you're believing in, you're holding strong with it. And if you can get that much of this game right, it's going to bring you them damn roses. We need them damn roses.
Come on,
Come
now.
on now. That's what
Just
I'm
put your
talking
finger
about.
on the
Put
button,
your
just
finger
make
on the
that shit
button,
run.
hit the bump.
Y'all know, look here, man. Y'all can get the information y'all use. They'll take that shit out there and argue with them people that believe all that other bullshit. You'd be surprised what they say. Just remember where you got your information from, because y'all information that I'm putting into you is the truth.
Ain't no man out. No, this. I mean, don't have no reason to be out here bullshit.
I was in there with all of them.
Right
From
there.
hardcore, the evolution, the Chico when he was down there working for him, when he made his transfer from up New York down that way, Jersey way down there, the evolution where he hit the flow. Then he came up. He picked him up, he came up. And then he went on from there. But he learned what he did, he learned it from evolution. And for those of you do your homework, you'll see what I'm saying. If you knew the story, you know what I'm saying. What you saw Chico Lopez do, evolution taught him how to do it, because evolution started it first.
Then they fell out.
Yeah,
Start telling on each other. Oh Lord! But that's
the whole
what they
time I'm asking that one question, Jesse. How'd you letting these dudes do this? What? Why? Victor, what's going on? What's going on here? You see what I'm saying? Where's all these damn extra dogs coming from? I know it's like 5 of them.
We got 20.
You do the numbers, they got about maybe 10 puppies out of there.
That litter?
Mm-hmm.
No.
No, you don't see Champion Hunter in there nowhere.
But again, we can only tell you our experience. And that's where our stories stop at. Care about what you heard, we're going to tell you about what we experienced. That's it. Can't take that from us. It is what it is. But look here, man.
Thank y'all, man.
Thank y'all for showing up, showing out. We made it another week. Guess we won't be back until Tuesday. Any dogs of the night tonight?
Well, you bought one up that I thought I think we deserve to take a look at.
While you doing that, I'm gonna get this thing over here started. Hey, y'all appreciate that. Y'all look here now. I got 37 people in here. I need at least 10 people to show some thumbs up, muscles, and roses. That's not asking much. It don't cost you nothing. It just shows me that you're showing some love, because I try to show as much love as possible, because you know what? I keep telling y'all, remember, I don't have no membership. You got to worry about paying for. I try to get everybody's questions answered when you don't have to pay for it to get your questions answered. So what I'm asking for right now, again, I'm trying to stay motivated here. I'm trying to keep bringing something to the table that's going to be worthy of your time sitting here, spending that time on your Tuesdays and Friday nights with us. So show some love, man. Because we keep showing you love every time we show up. I swear to God, I'll be trying to anyway. Who's that one? That's who you're rolling with? Mm-hmm. Okay. Dog of the night right here, fellas. Before we get out of here, I'll let Mo explain it to you.
Well, this dog of the night plays a big factor in here, because you went from they hating each other, to he must have been something special. Because he definitely changed their mind.
Get the name up there. Don't put this in the name. 5-time winner, grand champion, Stone City Kennels, Miss Luca. Dog of the night tonight, fellas. Appreciate that. Y'all hear me? Y'all hear me showing the love? I appreciate that, fellas. Shark Tank, keep doing what you're doing, baby.
Yeah, appreciate that. I see it over there working.
I know Sporting Dog Archive did you don't forget to watch Sporting Dog Archive. I think he did a little skit, a short on Xena, or one of Southern Killer's dogs. So he does a lot of them shorts, y'all. So don't forget, drop in and do him a favor, man. Share them videos. I don't know what's wrong with y'all. Y'all don't like doing likes and y'all don't like sharing videos. But sometimes it pays because a lot of that information in them shorts is very interesting, especially based on, y'all hanging out in the dog channels and y'all see these pedigrees. And even when you're at home ain't doing nothing, go put up a pedigree and just take a look. One thing you're going to see, they all going to have something in common. That's some CHs, them GRCHs, them ROMs, and them PORs. You know what I mean? If you just keep to that format right there, let that history speak for itself. That's why we going tonight. We going with two kennels couldn't stand each other to end up hoodwhacking the game and still was able to get together and produce a 5-time winner. And believe this, she is one of them dogs that kept the grand championship, just kept it going. If you just look at the pedigree, that looks like 4 grand champions, starting from Yellow to Mayday to Luke Kane to her. Speaks for itself, fellas. Let me get this thing started over here, Mo.
You damn near got 5 registered mares if you want to count Red Boy shit.
It's all lined up in there. Again, big shout out to my man Big Saw. I see you, fam.
Y'all see that, right? That's 5 registered mares right there. And he was double bred Red Boy. Oh, Yellow John. That's 5 of them. Go ahead, bro.
All right, fellas, until Tuesday, y'all stay safe.
Love y'all, man. Stay up.
Backstreet, I'll see you, fam.
You know what's up, fam. Yeah.
Dog of the night, grand champion Miss Luca.